Yo, what is going on? This is Unbounded. I am your host as always. And along with me, I got my boy Isaac. Breon maybe will be here. He's online, so hopefully he sees the notification. But we got Isaiah back here. If you haven't heard, we've had Isaiah on once before. We had a very nice conversation with him. Good 2 hour long podcast. Definitely, if you have not listened to it, go check it out. But for the most part, we're not really going to be doing a lot of the conversations of that we were talking about during that podcast. We do have a few things that we definitely want to talk about to get out of the way. But I feel like this episode is going to be a little bit more. How do you explain this?
I'd probably say easygoing.
Yeah, a little bit more easygoing, a lot more. We're probably getting a lot more laughs out of it because I got a few jokes on Isaac because I'm pretty sure he hasn't done what I told him to do yet.
No, I have not. I honestly have not.
I'm disappointed.
I mean,
you had one job, man.
Yeah, one job.
Well, when you hear what the one job is, I mean, it depends on how you feel. So I mean,
all you had to do was listen to the album, CJ.
I mean,
what album, man?
It's Religion.
Oh my God, yo! Thank you. Yes, if you didn't listen to that, you're slipping right now. When you said what you wanted to talk about, I was gonna bring that up. That album is absolute crack fire. I had that joint on repeat for like a week straight, still going back to it.
Exactly.
I mean, it just, you, Anthony, you tell what I told you when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like,
and what was my response?
You said it's partially, just give it a shot. And I said
open up your mind.
I told him, Isaiah, I told him, I gave YB and Cordae a chance. And that's like the youngest rapper I gave a shot.
You don't like Cordae?
Let me clarify. I do. I have his album downloaded on my phone. I had the last album he did downloaded on my phone. And I like it. I like it a lot. I even like, what's that dude? I listened to West Side Gun's new album, which is really good. You know? So yeah.
I haven't listened to that joint yet. I guess I'm gonna have to check it out.
It's good.
It's got Busta and Slick Rick on there. Like Slick Rick the Ruler on there.
You sound like somebody dad Isaac on week right now. Got Busta and Slick Rick the Ruler on there.
Isaac, you are the new Russell Wilson joke.
Man,
that's funny, man. Nah, but you do need to listen to that Spillage album, dog. Like, I'm a big Outkast fan, so they brought back Big Rube. That joint give me Outkast feels the whole way through. How they set that joint up, like, it's fire, man. Johnny Mercury on a whole lot of those pieces, dog. He gave me some 3 Stacks kind of vibes, yo.
Me, Johnny Venus.
Thank you. He gave me some mean 3 Stacks vibes, dog.
Oh yeah.
Crazy.
All right, put it this way.
He does give me like.
I'll make you a deal. Anthony, have you listened to West Side Gun's new album?
Yes, I have. I listened to it as soon as you said to listen to it.
Isaiah, have you listened to West Side Gun's new album yet?
Nah, I led with that. I haven't listened to that joint yet. He's somebody I've heard about. I ain't never really gave him a shot yet. Like,
put it this way. You listen to West Side Gun's new album, and I'll listen to Spillage Village.
Bro,
I will hit you up on Instagram.
You should listen to Spillage without any caveats. There shouldn't be any kind of catch for that.
Anthony knows.
You should listen to it for life enrichment.
I have a certain taste to my music. It's got to sound a certain way. That's why I gave Cordae a pass, because he said YB and Cordae. And before now, anytime I heard YB in anything, I immediately thought trash. He's going to be trash. He's going to sound like every other 20-year-old rapper, that calls himself a rapper.
Exactly. And this is why you still don't listen to Lil Altoid.
Lil Altoid?
See? My point. That is my whole point.
Hey, man.
Look,
Lil Altoid, he can't even get your bro fresh the whole way. He can't be spitting bars, bro. He can't.
Yeah, he low-key spit bars.
He put it in his name. There ain't no bars in that. Not with a Lil Altoid.
Hey, some little rappers actually do spit.
I mean, you're right, because Lil Wayne's one of the first Lils that was out there, and he was spitting the whole time we was
right.
coming up. And I mean, honestly, he still got a few moments like present day. I'm not gonna sit here and be like he the greatest again,
Oh no, but
but
like
Wayne
when
still
you
got bars. Like you will still catch him, and
Like,
it's like, oh my god, yeah, nah.
like
Where's
if
this
you
man?
want an if you want an example of that, listen to Mamma Mia on Funeral. Like, that is just
Mona,
all
Mona Lisa is still one of
metaphors.
those songs where I can still just like
All
blast in my car.
You heard.
Also, Jay Electronica dropped something new. It wasn't
Oh yeah, I
great,
listened
but
to that.
it wasn't like it wasn't as good as Written Testimony, but it was still good. It
I'll
was
show
definitely
Shout out to Jay-Z for that album.
a
you.
lot of jokes.
Yeah, nah, that written testimony joint was crack. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
Jay Electronica riding on Shiny Suit Theory right now, man. That joint came out like 10 years ago. He didn't put it on his last two albums, but this joint's still tight though. This album was pretty key. It was some smooth stuff to listen to. He got bars. It's definitely worth
Yeah.
multiple listens.
I mean, to be fair, he kind of did on a larger scale what Nip was doing before he dropped his first and only album. Because you remember he had a lot of those songs that was on
Oh, that's
Victory Lap that were used on some of his mixtapes. Because like Blue Laces,
Yeah.
that was up there. And there was a few other songs that I definitely can remember that were
All
on.
right, but the thing with Nipsey though is that Nipsey dropped a lot more music than Jay Electronica.
That is true as well.
It's like, all right, while it might not have been an album per se, Nipsey was dropping lots of music, dog. We had a whole Marathon Continues like anthology, you know what I'm saying? We had a few pieces from Jay, and then he disappeared into obscurity, yet somehow, he still got it.
Did
I'm
you?
grateful,
So let
but
me
like
ask you this.
don't do Nip like that, man. Nipsey was
Oh no!
definitely
I told Isaac well before Nipsey died. We were talking about the Grammys the year before he died. I was like, he should have won that over Cardi B.
So all right. So before we go any further,
What's up?
this is not an admission to anything. Okay. Now, I will say, I like Cardi B. Let me finish. Her political takes are funny. Her political take on the last vice presidential debate was really funny.
That's hilarious. I know you pulled me out here for pop culture, and like that honestly, that's kind of hilarious. I have no idea what she said, bro. Absolutely no idea
He
whatsoever.
said it was basically her whole thing was that uh, if you listen to how she talked anyway, you really won't be able to understand anything she says. But
disrespectful.
I'm sorry. I'm just saying. So if you basically what she was saying was during the debate, she was saying how Mike Pence wasn't answering any of the questions. He was just reflecting. He was just trying to like impose his will on like his like will on Kamala Harris like verbally, and it was like he was just saying like it was really disrespectful. That was basically what she was saying. So
I appreciate Cardi B for coming to stand up for another, colored woman and whatnot.
yeah.
But if we're gonna be real, she did the same thing though. I watched that joint, and like she was doing the exact same thing. The only difference is that she got black woman swagger with it. Like, but she pulled the same kind of moves. They might have gave some different answers, but it was a lot of moments to so many different questions that she didn't really like answer. She just kind of went around it.
Oh my gosh.
This man over here upset at the game.
No,
that was a crazy catch. My fault. That's game.
And the score is
no, it's about to be 37-34 as long as Greg Zerline makes this field goal.
Mm-hmm.
But that was a crazy catch. Nice catch.
Look at this. Look at how he reaches back to catch it though.
And both feet are in.
He catches. Oh my god!
All right, but go ahead. Continue what you were saying, Isaiah. My fault.
It's all good. Look, I mean, I'm the one that's missing out right now. Both of y'all over here watching this joint. I was just saying to Cardi B's point, she's missing the point. They both were politicians that night. They pulled the same moves. They danced around questions. They both said things that were not factual that were potentially exaggerated. So it's like I don't know, man. It still is. It's like it is what it is. It's up in the air. I at this point, focusing on the presidential debate and election is it's kind of a waste of our time and energy, man. I'm not saying don't vote. I'm just saying that joy is a waste of our focus. And it was good. I'm glad I watched it. I'm not watching nothing else. Also, I heard Trump not doing this next one.
Yeah, he apparently isn't doing it because it's not in person like it was last time.
Nah, man, that means because it's like, which one of y'all? So one of y'all could just mute me right now. Know what I'm saying?
That's probably exactly why. Because like
exactly why
I could easily just hit the mute button on you right now, and
I'm out here on the Unbounded podcast. You could mute me if I started going off the handle and just going crazy one time, right? You're just like, hold on, pause, bro. We gotta have a conversation. You can't be, but so he ain't trying to have that. You can't mute that, man.
Exactly, and that was a lot of the jokes because a lot of my teacher friends were saying it was like, if this is on Zoom, or it was just like maybe if we had a middle school teacher be the moderator or something.
Oh. I am a teacher, and I've heard from a lot of other teachers how kids have been wilding out in their Zoom classes, and I don't understand how you do that. Like, because I can mute you all with like 2 clicks. Ooh. With 2 buttons.
My mute game is strong.
Bro, it's ridiculous. And it's like, I can mute you all and I can immediately set it without having to go anywhere else so that you cannot unmute yourself. How are you having people popping into your class and showing themselves to everybody? How you people come to class just cussing like crazy? Well, you have the power to mute and kick somebody out immediately.
Exactly. And that's the part that really blows me about it. It's just like, learn how to handle these situations. This is something that obviously we're going to have to learn to adjust to, seeing that your city is not going back until maybe January. My city doesn't even know when we're going back.
Where are you teaching at? Where you
Suffolk.
working? So y'all haven't planned either?
They are going to have another meeting next week to decide. I don't know.
Okay.
But the way it's looking, that we might be going back in we might be starting to like wean people in November. But I know Chesapeake's in.
Yeah.
Well, especially for elementary school, because I was out there and they were in recess. I'm like, okay.
And Virginia Beach also, they're making plans. They're getting people back in too.
It's
crazy. COVID, man.
It's crazy.
I have a question.
What's up?
Last time we talked to you, Isaiah, the last question I asked you, is the world like V for Vendetta or the Hunger Games? And you said V for Vendetta.
Yeah, so, we're not at Hunger Game level yet.
So I was going to ask, since then, think about what has happened since then. You've had, Breonna Taylor, not even her killers, not even get charged directly. You had white supremacists starting to, well, not that they haven't been showing their ass, but they're showing even more. And then on top of that, you have people literally defending fascism. And then on top of that, or even more on top of that, you had white supremacists try and kidnap the governor of Michigan.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, this is a real story. So 13 white supremacists, let's call them what, actually, I'm not even going to give them that credit. 13 domestic terrorists.
There we go.
See, 13 domestic terrorists were arrested by the FBI in a plot to kidnap and potentially murder the governor of Michigan, who's a Democrat. Her name is Governor Whitmer. I can't think of her first name.
I had to pull this up because I didn't hear about this. Again, like I said, it's so much craziness going on that I have in a lot of ways detached. And the only thing keeping me plugged into the world right now is new music that's been dropping. So it's like
we're gonna get back to the music. So my whole question before we get back to the music and other pop culture stuff, I gotta get your take on this. Are you? I want to say surprised because I don't think surprised is the right question. Is the right word.
And I would say no if you ask me if I was surprised.
Exactly.
At all.
So like, is it the fact that is it telling? Now I'm trying to figure out how to word this so I say it right. So is it the fact that people are blindly following the rhetoric of cultism and white supremacy? Is that concerning for the potential of the United States as a democracy?
Well,
I know that sounded really, really like
no, I mean it's a few
tough.
things. For one, it's not like we actually have a democracy, right? Um, for two, uh, yeah, I mean it's always been an issue. It's always been a worry. And what we're seeing right now are telltale signs of a country slipping towards fascism. Uh, y'all was talking about keeping it light. We are seeing signs of our country slipping in towards fascism. We are seeing similar things happening today that happened in Nazi Germany, that happened in the USSR after the Bolshevik Revolution. We're seeing similar things play out on both sides where we're really getting towards like tyranny more so and authoritarian rule. And because we're capitalists, we are moving more towards fascism than like a leftist form of authoritarianism. Um,
Do
yeah,
you
yeah.
feel
I've been reading on this actually. There's this book that came out earlier this year on tyranny by Timothy Snyder, 20 Lessons from the 20th Century. And dude is going through and talking about different things that, I mean, literally like different lessons that we can take from how other countries have evolved or devolved into and out of fascism, into and out of authoritarian rule. And he used a lot of references and similarities between what's going on today and what happened with Hitler and his rise to power, and how a lot of people were willing to move with it. And one of the things that you talked about when you brought up the Governor Whitmer getting kidnapped was something that he talked about in here, and it said, "Be wary of paramilitary groups." Um, so what we're seeing with some of these things, like these are essentially paramilitary groups. We're seeing little militias come pop up. They're connected. They're heavy gun rights advocates. Most times they're heavy on the right, um, and we're seeing that mixed with that whole notion of white supremacy, that power, that drive for power right there. Those are things that get used for tyrannical rule. Those are things that help like really ruin a country, because you have people like that are willing to go out and start to do all types of wild stuff, and you got a lot of other people that are unwilling to do anything about it. So, and then there are different experiments that have been out there. When you put people in this kind of situation, we will start to see a lot of people lean into doing that evil kind of shit. And that's going to be one thing that we'll have to watch out for, because we already are seeing it. We've seen it on multiple occasions. The way people came out in mass for that Charlottesville joint that happened a few years ago, out of UVA. And then so many of these other things, man. The rash of lynchings that we've seen over the summer also. I know that's not something that's really been getting talked about, and everybody want to focus on Breonna Taylor and George Floyd, but you literally have had a lot of different cases of black men being found hanging from trees and people ruling it as suicides. Like
wait, not that
this is
black man
present
don't.
day again. Know what I'm saying? Like this is what we literally saw with lynchings. What black man goes outside in a public place and hangs himself from a tree? That doesn't even sound right. That doesn't even sound right. That was like when they said that Osama bin Laden wanted a water burial. So after the U.S. killed him back in 2011 or whatever, that when that happened, they said they dropped him off at sea because he wanted a water burial. That don't make no sense. Type of man from the Middle East want a water burial. in the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah, that sounds very stupid.
That don't even make sense. So like it's certain things that come up when we get told one thing and then another thing out of this book, right? It's a really small, pretty pocket-sized book. You can fit it in the coat pocket, and the joint was like you to watch out for blind faith. And it's something that we see a lot right now, I think, right? If you really were to talk to not just like a lot of Trump supporters, but not just Trump supporters. Also, if you were to talk to a lot of supporters on the other side, a lot of supporters for Democrats, what we tend to find is there might be a good rationale for why they're doing what they're doing, but we tend to find that there's a whole lot of sense lacking. That a lot of things that they're doing don't actually make sense. That they do it simply because they were told to, and that sounds better than a particular alternative.
Doesn't
And
that sound like the Nuremberg trials though? Like people were just doing things just because they were like if you remember in the Nuremberg trials after World War II when all those Nazis went to
I mean, so you're talking about how the Nazis like started to react, how they started to develop and lean into doing evil things to people, and
yeah,
what they
well
were
that
trying.
and then like you remember how afterwards they said like when they were asked to face the music essentially by the courts, the United Nations, they were like most of them said we were just following orders, you know? We didn't necessarily believe in what we were doing. We were just doing what we were told.
Yeah, yeah. There's that. There's an authority, and somebody's telling you to do something. You don't
Right.
question it. You just follow along because you believe that the authority is telling you the right thing.
Right.
Up until, I mean, at that point, you're now on the world stage having to face your consequences because millions of people have died.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, yeah. But
So
even on that notion, I mean, there's things were done for them. Now I'm saying there was still justice in a sense. Um, for what happened in that regard. But we're seeing the same kind of thing though. That's the point that I'm bringing up. People just following orders, leaning into it, that blind faith, willing to accept it. They're not really asking certain questions. They're just going along with the flow and just accepting it because somebody that seemed like they were an authority figure told them to do it. Somebody in a position of perceived power told them to do a thing.
this is the last question I'm going to ask before we get back to the funnier stuff and less chaotic stuff. Um,
Took a little detour.
will will the United States do you think there's any case in which Republicans, like the Republican lawmakers, would rather? Do you think that they're brave enough to essentially? Do you think they would rather see fascism take over in this country than the United States return to, I wouldn't say its former glory, but when it wasn't this close to fascism? Do you think they would rather like stay on the path they're on? Do you believe that they would rather stay on the path they are right now rather than see a change? Do you
Man,
think like Republican lawmakers are brave enough, like people in Congress and then the Senate? Do you think they're brave enough to say, you know what, we're headed down a path that could be really, really fucked in the long run? What do
I don't think it's a matter of bravery at
maybe,
all. I
maybe
don't think it's a matter of bravery. Um, yeah, nah, that's not really so much it. Because honestly, I think it takes that they have to be brave in order to get out here and say some of the things that they do, to get out here and contradict
really wild?
themselves
Yeah,
so readily on the record. Prime example right now, this whole stuff going on with the Supreme Court nomination, right?
yeah.
Um,
Lindsey Graham, what he said.
multiple people. But I was thinking about this man Mitch McConnell previously when Obama had the chance and he was in this position. There was a big fuss because somebody else, another one of the seats was open. I think it might have been Scalia, and
I think
Yeah,
so.
it was Scalia. It was Scalia.
yeah. So when he died, right, and that seat became open, and then they kept stalling up on his nomination, saying that a president in an election year should not be allowed to choose a Supreme Court justice, even though there had been no precedent stopping that prior. So now here it is 4 years later, and it's Donald Trump's turn, and they're saying that he needs to go ahead and do this. America needs this in order to this, that, and the third. So he will readily get out here and swap his story. So I don't think it's a matter of bravery, but like, also, I don't think you understand how close our country has been to fascism for so very long.
Yeah.
Like, so your question is like, man,
My
it's like,
question would
you
probably
feel like you missed a mark. Like, I don't know. It's like, it's
so
not.
my, so my question would probably be more like, are we any closer to fascism now than we were before?
Oh, I mean, yes, we are
Is that your
definitely
question?
closer now. We are definitely closer now for several reasons. A lot of what we see with Donald Trump is lining up with some of these things of a fascist ruler. He doesn't really have a very, very great plan, but some people are coming up and making shit shake for him. And there are certain things that are getting signed off and that people are loving him for. The way in which he talks to a group of people that have been listening to him is it's ridiculous, but he is speaking to them in such a way. I mean, he knows his audience. So he's speaking to them in such a way that they are hanging on to whatever it is that he is saying, even though he himself, it was a report. I was looking into some of this information, right? Donald Trump himself, personally, from like his own words, his own handles online, is responsible for some like 30% of the misinformation about COVID-19. Donald
Right.
Trump himself is responsible for about 30% of the misinformation revolving about COVID-19. One man responsible for 30% of the misinformation, 30% of what the fuck is skewing people on how this thing is affecting us right now. And so it's like, and that doesn't matter to so many folks. You can catch him up on all of these things, but there's that piece I was talking about, right? That blind faith that he has spoken to folks in a way that they were willing to listen and do just about whatever the hell he is saying. And he is speaking in a way that is also like giving gas to people that are willing to get out here and kill you on the fucking street. Excuse me, I forgot what type of podcast I'm on.
No. This is going to be explicit either way, so you're good.
It's rated explicit. Like even on
So
a
it's
normal day
like, so on that note, right? Yeah, we are definitely quite close to it. And then some of what we're also seeing, so like history shows us a lot of lessons. And if you don't learn the lessons, then you're going to be doomed to deal with some of the same consequences because other people are applying things they learned from history. If you paid attention and you wanted to control a group of people, you could look at how Adolf Hitler was able to rise to power through the system, through an election, change the way the system was operating so that it benefited him, and then go and seek and then wage war on a massive scale, increase technology and medical advances at the expense of millions of people's lives. But there were a lot of things that they ended up gaining. How was he able to do that? Through how he spoke to people and the fact that he had an authority and people were willing to do whatever because authority said it was okay. So right now, what are we seeing? We're seeing Donald Trump, who is willing to speak to people in such a way that gets them fired all the way up, even though it doesn't actually quite make sense, has been doing things that goes against the way the system was previously designed to work, going against not just traditions, literally breaking presidential laws and like beyond and precedents on how certain things are going. And then and saying that I'm the president, I can go and do this. Was impeached and stayed in office, so the impeachment failed. That ramped up all of his political followers, right? Because now you see this man face the highest level of opposition
punishment,
that the
quote unquote
president could
punishment.
face, right? Outside of Congress doing everything they can to stall up anything you're trying to do, like what we saw with Obama. But they impeached this man, and he got through impeachment. He got all these other things, years of tax fraud, tax evasion, still in office, still rocking out. That man's gonna win this election. And if he said that if he doesn't win, that he wasn't going to guarantee a peaceful transfer of power. He said that there would not be a transfer of power. These are all signs of a person that is seeking dictatorship. And I ain't the first person to say that. And I've been looking at it and I've been feeling like that and understanding that there have been other people, historians, political scientists that are also watching and paying attention to these signs and seeing the same thing. It's letting you know something, that this joint really is going all the way left. So then what else are we seeing with it, right? So I was talking about Adolf Hitler. When Adolf Hitler was coming to power, he started trying to annex more territory. And territory that he annexed, and I was getting this out of this book right now. So Tim Snyder over here is the source for this little piece. He was talking about how when he went and he annexed some of the other areas, the people in that town, the people in the countries that he started annexing, some of them were on board. And they also immediately started to ostracize and treat the Jews in their area with disdain and discontent. And did not take very long. We see this again right now. We see in like the way in which a lot of white folk, but also some black folk are really against a lot of this change, this political change that's going. And I think also I feel like the movement's also been hijacked personally.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
feel like,
I've been saying that since the beginning because I was like, look, the thing it started off as a noble thing, but then now I'm sitting here looking at it, and I was watching all the protests and we're saying riots, and I was like, there's a lot of not us out here doing all this burning stuff down, and then it's going to just come back onto us saying, but
yeah,
y'all don't care about what's going on in the cities, and which is
yes.
absolutely BS because we're out here protesting the violence in our own inner cities as well.
So one thing, and I agree with you, this is like hella toxic about how that's been going on, and we see it in a lot of different places, and it's like, but again, though, that blind faith type of piece right here, right? So and I said earlier, we're seeing it on both sides. We see it with Trump supporters. We see it with some supporters for Democrats. We're seeing it with supporters for Black Lives Matter. People that are so ready to just burn everything all the way the fuck down instead of actually thinking about other ways that you could really go about making a change. You may go ahead and you burn this joint down right now. Only thing you're going to end up doing is now you have eliminated a lot of what could be there, destroyed property some of y'all could have started buying, owning, and controlling. So you're hurting yourselves. Also, that means you're going to be raising like insurance rates and stuff on people that live there. Tax rates are liable to go up because of the amount of work that's going to have to happen. You're doing a lot of backwards damage because you're not thinking about things in the moment. People really aren't thinking about their actual economic power. People are so quick to just physically go and burn something down. Like, and sometimes that is the right thing to do. I am open to a variety of opportunities, right? But at the same time, it's more often than not, it's destructive. And when it's been hijacked, we're seeing white people, we're seeing other folk come out here and start throwing bricks and rioting and breaking stuff down when we were initially peaceful. And then we're getting caught up in things we don't need to be getting caught up in, like Kyle Rittenhouse situation out, and I feel like that was Kenosha, right? When the
Yeah, it
little
was Kenosha.
17-year-old kid, he came into town, some other folks, they were protecting property or whatever, and then he ended up shooting a couple people that night. I feel like
Killed
the
two
cats that he
people.
shot were some white folks, but for the most part, he was being attacked when he started getting shot. But then we all get caught up in so much of the narrative. So like there's so much going on. We're really missing the key point. And so, man, I'll go off on this for a minute. It's been hijacked, and I think
Oh
pop
yeah.
culture, bringing it back around, pop culture is in some regards able to notice and highlight this, and we can look at these things through art. Y'all seen the trailers for that movie Judas and the Black Messiah?
No, I need to check that
I
out.
did not watch the trailer. I do know what it's about. It's
Man, so
about
dog, all right.
yeah.
So on that joint, we're talking about a movement being hijacked. So lessons that you learn from history. Y'all know about Fred Hampton?
Yes, I googled him when I was at
So
work one
Fred
time.
Hampton, this movie Judas and the Black Messiah is about Fred Hampton and the Panthers and how the government, FBI agents, police out in Chicago, they got together to hijack the movement to put and basically insurgents in the movement. They caught some black people up on crimes. They were like trumping up some of the charges. So like if you got caught doing something kind of dirty, they would ramp up charges and say, all right, well, look, you can go and you can take 25 years in prison, or you can go home, but you got to be in the informant force and you got to go spy on the Black Panther Party. And this is what started happening. And this is one of the things that was extremely effective in destroying the Panthers. And it was like, all right, well, why were they doing that? Well, because they started a lot. They started a lot. It was they were arming their people with knowledge and with self-defense. They were feeding the children and educating the kids. They were protecting the women and protecting the families. They were really going about making major change. And then we also had the Rainbow Coalition, which for the most part, last time I looked, like first few results, last time I looked at it, just brings you up like gay rights stuff, which isn't bad, but it takes away from the history that we had with this. Rainbow Coalition was a coalition of all colors of oppressed people, not just colors, of all types of oppressed people. That's why it was called the Rainbow Coalition. It's Black folks, red people, yellow, so natives, whoever, like it was all of us coming together to make this change because it was all power to the people. So Judas and the Black Messiah, man, pop culture, like sometimes they really are hitting on things. And I know like predictive programming is real, but at the same time, we get certain little glitches in the matrix every so often that are just like fire, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I think this is going to be one of them. They better do this movie right. I'm excited for this.
All right, so while we're on, all right, so staying with pop culture and not going back to politics. I repeat to whoever's going to listen to this, we are not going back to politics. You have my word.
Your fault, dog. You the one.
If we go back to politics,
about fascism.
If we go back to politics, feel free to at me on Twitter and call me an idiot.
I'm gonna fry you up.
I'll add them first, guys.
So, in pop culture, did you hear about the failure that was Tekashi 6ix9ine's album?
I'm gonna go just hard left. No, of course not. I have done.
Let me tell you about
what
this
I can. Just let me get this out first. You tell me about it, but I've really done what I can to not see that clown anywhere as much as possible because he is a culture vulture. That man is fake. That man is like, he is a plant. He is a bug. He is not, and he's just here to like stir up shit and controversy, man. I guess on a musical level, people do like the music that he makes. I question a lot of people's intelligence decisions every day, though.
You want to call that music?
I mean, I'm not really with it, man. It's catchy, but like for real, it's the beat, and it's not like he's the producer. So like anybody can buy a beat. Know what I'm saying? Anybody can buy a beat, bro. Anybody can buy a beat and yell on the track. Anybody, especially when you got other people that will write for you. So with everything that's going on, he's a clown, bro. And I mean, I'm kind of glad he made it because I know he ain't had a bread before, but he's a clown, man. He's bad for the culture, yo.
He's definitely culture vulture, and it's crazy because like he does nothing but yell on the track. I'm like, okay, and you got people that really are out here saying he's the king of New York.
Bro, I had a buddy of mine saying that. My buddy from New York literally told me those exact words, and I told him, he's your king.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell it to you like this, dog. It's about 50 people right now in Brooklyn that we ain't never heard of that got way more musical talent and ambition than that man, dog.
I'm just waiting for people to give Boss his respect.
Yeah, thank you. It's so
that's all I'm trying to say.
Like you saying that Tekashi's the king, Boss, my man. You got Coda the Friend up there, Joey, Flatbush. What? Underachievers, bro. Come on, man. Come on, man. We ain't even hit like the heavy hitters and classics. My nigga Nas and Jay-Z still making music. What do you mean?
Are they not alive?
Nas dropped the album this summer.
It was hitting,
baby. What are you talking about?
And that was hitting.
Tekashi, the king of New York. Tekashi is a clown. Tekashi cannot go outside of New York freely because I'm sure some people that would try to plug him right now.
I'm gonna put it like this: if you can have 504 on your song and it still be nice, no, just crown the man down. Like Fabio's on the on one of the songs, and it's like, okay, this actually sounds good.
Yeah.
He's
what are you talking about, man?
He was in Chicago like a couple months ago, and he was like just being all extra the way he is, and I'm like, doesn't he have beef with like? Didn't like Chief Keef and like all those guys tell him not to come to Chicago or something?
He
else
came
like
out there at 4:00 in the morning.
Exactly. Like,
I know niggas be up late, but niggas don't be up that late.
Hey man, he's just doing stuff for attention, yo. I mean, it's what we here for right now. We talking about stuff that's buzzworthy. So he's just doing stuff for attention, man. I don't really think he add anything to the culture. But you were talking about his album, and I guess gratefully, I'm kind of happy to hear this. You said it flopped. You said it was terrible.
it flopped. Well, thanks to Anthony who told me it flopped because I wasn't listening to that track.
I didn't listen to it. I just found the numbers, and the numbers were less than half of what he was expecting.
The only exposure I got to it is because on TikTok, people kept using like part of the song from Gooba on TikTok to make videos. And
is that the one that was like, "Are you dumb, stupid, or dumb?"
Yeah, that one.
Oh
that
gosh.
One. And people kept using that, and then it's trending for a while. People don't do that anymore, but like
that was the last song I ever listened to from 6ix9ine, and I don't listen to that to laugh.
And then so when I found out it flopped, I was,
But flopping, it seems to be a lot of flopping that happened because not only did he flop, but Canada's Worst also flopped in his album too.
Said Canada's Worst.
Canada's Worst, Tory Lanez, who's also being charged.
I was about to ask about that because
two felonious charges.
Like, what do you think? What do you think on the fact like he's been accused of, not that being accused of because he didn't do it, but
you said he didn't do it?
No, he did. No.
He says he didn't do it.
He says he didn't do it. We know he did it. I know he did it.
All I'm saying is if he didn't do it, then who did it? That's all I want to know.
I know what she said. I don't feel like there's much of a reason for her to just lie. But I don't know nothing. I won't there.
I'm with you.
Yo, y'all see Meg? Y'all see her SNL performance?
I have not. What song was she doing?
She did the Savage joint or whatever.
Meg. The thing about Meg is she's a good rapper. Don't get me wrong. I like Meg rapping, but Meg's music is not for me.
It's not.
No, it's not.
If I'm going to listen to a female rapper, the most extreme female rapper I would go listen to is Rico Nasty.
I have another confession to make.
Okay.
I caught myself singing just the beat to WAP yesterday. Just the beat.
The beat is catchy.
Yes.
The beat is real catchy. I ain't gonna lie.
Isaac, ain't nothing wrong if you want some WAP, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man.
I'm just,
it's one of God's gifts. Know what I'm saying? Like, men love it, women love it. Like, come on, bro.
But I ain't that. I'm not that.
The beat's catchy, bro. So I can't even be mad at you. So I don't think you saw my message, Isaac, but Belle Callis' birthday was yesterday.
I heard.
And she had a huge birthday party in a pandemic, by the way. And I saw some of the videos, and let me just say, I probably saw one mask, but that's not the point.
Super spreader event.
Exactly. And I don't know where this is at, but wherever that's at, just be expected to see that number jump up. Yeah. Which I haven't seen. I need to see what those numbers are looking like in Newport News after that rally, and expect.
Hey yo! I wanted to go so bad to that Trump rally.
Why though?
Bro, because I wanted to go. You were talking about the rally in Newport News, right?
Yes.
I wanted to go, bro, because I wanted to go see the show. I wanted to be entertained. That's why I wanted to go. This is, man, what?
I just watched on Facebook Live. I was just like,
Oh,
okay, this is
It was
hilarious.
it was at the airport. It was at the
I
Newport.
know. My cousin was getting married that weekend, so I was going out of town. And it rained that day anyway, so they got rained on. But I wanted to go, man. Like, I don't know. When else do you get to be like that close to something so
Funny.
yes. That's a good word. It's not the word I was going to use.
Well, it can't be as tragic as me being at the Obama rally 4 years, like what, 4 years? No, 8 years ago. Lord have
I
mercy, how
mean,
long ago was
that
it
was
ago?
probably like a hopeful place or whatever.
No, it was a place where everybody was passing out.
What?
It was, I want to say it was Labor Day, 2012 Labor Day, and they had it in Norfolk State. And it's a good 100 degrees outside, and I marched with the Norfolk State University Marching Spartan Legion. And so some genius decided that we were going to perform this event in full uniform.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh my God.
Helmets on. And if y'all have never seen the Spartan Legion's helmets, Lord have mercy, they are microwaves.
Hey, man.
This is my second performance in this uniform, and I was this close to dying.
Hey, bro, I'm sorry to hear that. They didn't love y'all.
It took like 5 people passing out for them to say, okay, I'll take our jackets off.
That's crazy.
Okay, so caveat, I just got to
That
update.
wasn't Obama's fault, man. That was your band director's fault, man. You can't put that on the president,
I'm
bro.
blaming Obama.
Obama didn't tell y'all to do that.
He had us out here waiting in
This
this
is how
heat.
they rewrite history, man. They just go and blame it on the president.
I'm out here giving Trump some
You know what I'm saying? And then they're gonna be like, this is why Obama had the government shut down. Like, nigga, Congress did that.
right.
No, but you know what though? You remember when Trump shut the government down? I know we said we won't go talk about politics, but y'all remember when
Isaac didn't do it, so we can't call Isaac an idiot.
I say we have it on record.
his fault.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's happened. What, like 2 or 3 times? I'm probably undershooting.
That's right. It was crazy, right? And he was down with it. With the Obama administration, it was the Republican Congress that held it up. With this joint, man, life is interesting. Let's go back to talking about some lighthearted stuff because this.
Well, because I could go a whole another 2 hours just
So
in on
I
it.
got one. What movies have you been? What shows have you been binging since?
All right, so movies, yo. So actually, yesterday I actually went to the movie theater, right?
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's the movie theater. I feel like I was never normally that close to people, so I didn't think it was that big a deal, right?
I mean, it depends on what theater you went to, because which one?
So I was at the one out Chesapeake Square over here.
Oh, they're open?
Yeah, they're open.
I keep seeing people in there working. I didn't know they were working on getting things.
They are open, man. So
I know the one, the Harborview one's open.
What'd you see?
I mean, that was my first time going, and no, I mean not to that movie theater, but just since the pandemic.
Oh.
That was my first time going since.
Where have you been for the last like 10 years?
You said you haven't been there in 10 years?
No, I said, where have you been? I said, that was your first time going to that theater ever. I said, where have you been for the last 10 years?
I've been there a few times, man. It's a decent theater, yo. But the way they got it set up right now, they got like certain rows blocked off, and then once you start to pick a seat, the seats are like staggered. So if I pick a seat, it automatically starts to block out other seats nearby you. Because you got to reserve a seat online when you buy your ticket, or when you go to the theater, you got to pick your seat.
Oh, so they're starting to do that too, because I know the one in Hampton, Harborview's doing that too?
Yeah, they've been doing it for a while.
Oh, that's right, because I went to the one in Hampton and they did that.
So that part, pick your seat, rows blocked off. But me and my lady, man, we went and we saw Tenet, and that joint's
How is it,
bro?
How was it?
That Tenet was pretty dope, dog. I think it was a great movie.
I don't like time travel movies. You know, I like.
And listen, yo, you should watch it because it's not. I've never felt like I've seen anything like this before. Like the way in which everything was like working, the movie dynamic. for today, with there not being a lot of like really new or creative movies coming out, it feels
Uh-huh.
this was new and inventive to me. Like you got a strong black male lead. That dude's going in, kicking ass all over the world, gets fresh to death. I mean, it's a great movie, and then like the plot is tight. Though this it gives you a pretty strong Inception kind of feel. Like there's a lot going on, and if you're not really paying attention, there are little things that make a big difference that you might miss. That it was like, and now I guess I mean it's been out for a while. I don't really want to like spoil it, but that joint's a good movie, man. That joint's a good movie, and it's not so much. I mean, there's time travel involved, but it's not really like time travel. The word they used was inversion. So it wasn't like you were traveling. Well, it reimagines what the phrase traveling backwards in time means.
Hmm.
Yeah. It's like normally you think traveling back in time, we think maybe like Back to the Future. You go back in time, so like I hop in the time machine or a portal, and it's 10 years ago, right? And you went like that. That's going back in time. Cool, but that's not how this movie works it out at all. That's not how they play it out. And there's definitely a lot of questions left. There are a lot of questions left. Um, but it's a solid movie, man. Y'all should see it, yo. It's a great movie. I'm bad with names with actors, but I feel like this is Denzel's son is the main character, and he does a good job, man.
I I've been watching like I mostly been watching like action. I've been on an action movie, action show, just like anything involving like hand to hand gun battles and all that kind of stuff. Like clips on YouTube, all that stuff is just right up my alley. That's where I've been for most of the pandemic. Like I watched this one movie called Killing Gunther, which has Arnold in it,
Okay.
and he plays this like Arnold plays this uh, like top notch. He's this top notch killer, contract killer, and these group of like pretty much misfits. That's what they are. They're misfits. They're trying to get like this huge payday to kill this guy, to kill Arnold's character, and and they fail miserably at it. And if you look at watch the trailer for it, if you watch the trailer for it, there's one point in it. If you remember Predator, in
Yeah.
Predator, when he's like, "Come on, kill me now, do it now, kill me," right? There's a part in the trailer where he's he's like punching, he's like beating this guy up, and he like hits him. He's like, "Come on, kill me!" He's talking to him. It's a good movie. It's an entertaining movie. If you like action comedy, it's
Word.
right up your alley. Also, if you like action comedy, watch The Hitman's Bodyguard
The
with
Hitman's Bodyguard.
Samuel L. Jackson and Ryan Reynolds in it. It's really good.
That automatically sounds hilarious.
Oh yeah, just anything with Samuel L. Jackson in it just
Bro, you said
tells you what you need.
and Ryan Reynolds.
Samuel L. Jackson and Ryan Reynolds.
Uh, the amount of F bombs in that movie has to be
Oh,
off
they
the
were.
charts.
It was
I
up there.
want to see it.
It
What
was
is
a
it called?
The Hitman's Bodyguard.
The Hitman's Bodyguard.
And fun fact, there is a sequel coming out called The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard with Ryan, Samuel L. Jackson, and Salma Hayek.
I don't know who that is.
Well, so
Google
I'm gonna check that out.
Google her.
You said Sama Hyatt.
SAL or it's either SE or SALMA Hayek. HAYEK.
Okay, word.
You see her?
Yep. I have
She's
seen her before.
she is gorgeous. That's been mostly what I've been doing. So let me ask you this.
What's up, man?
What is your top 5 rappers of all time?
Of all
First of
time,
all, actually, before we
Oh Lord.
actually hang on, before we get into that, did you listen to Run the Jewels 4?
I did a couple times.
How did you like it? What do you,
I mean, it's straight, man. It didn't keep me for real. But I do rock with Killer Mike, so I had to go listen to it. Like, Run the Jewels dropped some, I gotta go play it. But it didn't. It didn't stay in rotation for real.
that is good nonetheless.
I got a few in rotation.
You got a what?
He said he got.
I got a few in rotation.
A few Run the Jewels, a few RTJ.
But then I play my rotation is so weird because I play stuff all the songs that like, and I just let my Apple Music just play whatever, and I'm like, okay, this is actually dope.
Bro, but for real, man, for like ever since Spillaging came out, that's honestly just about been the only thing I've been listening to. So like, for the last couple weeks, I don't know what else to tell you right now. There was, man, it's been so much music that's came out. I did listen to the Run the Jewels joint, but after that came out, there was this Amine album, Limbo, came out.
That was dope.
Yes, so that one was another one that was on like rotation. That was on repeat, pretty heavy for a minute. I would find a couple things and then just
Are
roll.
you hip to Smino?
Oh yeah, did he drop some new music?
Unfortunately not yet, but I need him to go ahead and stop playing around and go ahead and drop something.
Oh, bro, I was about to say if Smino drops something, I've been missing out. I've been seeing features.
He's been featured everywhere, but yeah. I just need him to go ahead and drop that album.
All right, so I gotta put y'all on to something I feel like I know you ain't listened to yet. If you have, we can really be friends out here. So this new Brass Tracks album dropped over the summer, bro. That Golden Ticket.
Yes.
I have a question.
What's up?
You lost me. I don't know.
I knew Isaac was gonna get hip, but I'm hip.
I'm glad.
I'm hip to the Brass Tracks.
Yo, nah, that joint right there. I've been a Brass Tracks fan for a minute now, and that joint, bro, that was another one that's solid, quality music, man.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, bro. First off, they got Common out here, so that Golden Ticket track, Masego and Common on there, that is magic that happened for that.
I know exactly what happened. It was a random day that I turned on the radio. I usually don't turn the radio on, but I was listening to they call it Blazing Hot in 91 now. It's Norfolk State's radio station.
Uh-huh.
And they were just playing this song. I was like, oh, wait.
They were playing that on Norfolk State radio?
Yes.
Bro.
Yes. I was like, yo, this low-key groovy.
Hey, yo.
So I was like, okay, pull up the Shazam. I was like, okay, I need to go check these dudes out now. So after that, what's it? But usually that stuff, like my band friends
you just got hip now, bro?
Yeah, like
listen,
3 weeks ago.
You need to go back. You need to go back and run through the anthology. And I'm saying, like, when I say this, you need to go to like their SoundCloud and start and run through the anthology, because some of the greatness isn't available on Apple Music or on Tidal or something like that. Like, you need to go back. You need to listen to that Corduroy. Like, oh my God, they were doing some. It's beautiful, beautiful music, man. So Isaac, you want to listen to this? This joint is more eclectic. It's out there, and they brought out some They brought out some cool names, especially like on that kind of like indie level, man. That this is dude Adi Suleiman I started listening to, and that track they got with him, that movie track, that joint's beautiful, man. That joint.
What's the name of the group?
What's your knowledge on Thundercat?
Thundercat. So this joint is called Brass Tracks, Golden Ticket. Isaac, I heard your question. Thundercat. I mean, for real, man. That not the first joint, because the first joint was like the red and black Thundercat album logo. I feel like Where the Wild Things Are. What that one that he did, that was like my favorite one, man. After that, I mean, the music's cool. He just a little bit. It ain't really my steez most of the time.
See, that's where I kind of lean on to, because I like a little bit of out of the box type stuff.
You said it's
so like Dragon Ball Durag is like my song of the year right now.
That joint's a cool song though, man. I did
Oh
like.
yeah,
Dragon Ball do it.
Yeah.
I'm
I
pretty sure I've shared it to you like 3 times, Isaac.
He's slipping, man. He had one
hey,
job.
the last thing I remember listening to, other than West Side Guns album, I listened to that. I listened to Jay Electronica's new album, and then I also tuned into Conway the Machine's album.
Really?
I thought was pretty good. And then one of the things I was blasting today because it just keeps getting in my head. Steve Aoki and Timmy Trumpet dropped a song called Tarantino, which is pretty much, if you remember the beat from Pulp Fiction, from the beginning of Pulp Fiction, it's pretty much an EDM remix of that, and it's fun. It is fun. It's definitely rave material. It made me think of it made me remember when I went to NecoCon years ago, and on Saturday night, they had this huge, they didn't call it a rave, they call it a dance, but everybody there knew it's a rave. And it was just like at least like 200 people crammed into like one of those conference rooms in a hotel. I mean, in the Virginia Beach, in the Hampton Convention Center near the
Man,
Coliseum.
like when you said that, you said NecoCon. I was like, NecoCon? Like the
NecoCon is like, yeah, the one in Hampton, NecoCon.
all right, word.
I was there. I went there 2013 and 2012. Had the time of my life. It
They're
was.
bringing it back next year, so I guess you should go again.
I think I might, but then again, I'm not really. I'm kind of out of the anime. We haven't been watching a lot of new stuff.
Oh man,
If anything, I'll go for nostalgia.
it's been a lot of anime I've been watching. I don't watch a lot of regular TV. I watch anime and then I go and I do stuff. Like that's how life is set up. It's been some really dope things that have come out recently, man. You should catch up.
Oh
What
yeah.
have you? What
I'm
have you
gonna keep
been?
applying the pressure to get you on your game, sir.
Listen, man, did you watch that Demon Slayer Kimetsu?
I have not. The
I
last
haven't.
one thing I am going to watch is God of
You
High
ain't,
School.
you ain't seen it either?
Mm-mm.
Oh my God, that joint is fire. That's definitely one of the best animes that's to come out in a long time. And I mean, and that's saying something because there's been some dope stuff that's to come out. I mean, Sword Art Online been out, now I'm saying? So like, but this joint, that Demon Slayer Kimetsu, that joint's crazy. Top tier. Top,
Have
top.
you seen God of High School?
Yes, also top tier.
I have started the first episode, but I don't. I was waiting until it was finished to watch the rest of it.
It is
But
finished. You can watch I mean, unless you're waiting for all of it dubbed.
no,
I mean, all right, well then it's all I've already seen the whole first season, dog. Like it's all done now. So you can binge it. That joint is also amazing. My man Jen goes all the way in, bro.
what I saw in the first episode, I was in love. I said, "This is gorgeous. This is right up my alley. This is everything I want when it comes to anything
That
high
great.
school movie related."
That joint's great. That's a good one to watch. And that's
So,
fresh.
so let me ask you, what are some of your, while we're on this topic of anime, what are some of your favorite fights? Now, when I say, what is your favorite fighting style anyway when it comes to anime? Like, what kind of fights do you like to watch? Do you like to watch like magic battles, like equal force battles? When I say equal force battles, I mean like you have like take a Goku or and Beerus or Goku and Broly fighting on the same level, kind of equality. Like what do you like to watch?
Oh man, I ain't really been watching as much Dragon Ball type stuff lately, yo.
I mean, I'm talking about fights in general. Like, what are some of your favorite fights that that you've seen in like anime or any media that you think?
I guess to keep it recent, man, one of the top ones is that from Boruto, man, when Sasuke and Boruto, I mean when Sasuke and Naruto were fighting that one dude, Momoshiki,
Oh
that
yeah, I remember that.
that
That
one
was a
right
movie,
there,
right?
yo, was that fight right there was all the way OP because Boruto was watching. He that whole time he talking trash about his pops. He hates his pops or whatever. Dad busy, ain't never home. He go see his pops fight this man to put everybody else to sleep. And Naruto ain't to be trifled with, know what I'm saying? So that joint was gangster. That fight was really gangster, man. Um, something else that I've been watching. So I watched Sword Art SAO, right? And they had, I don't know, I guess it's kind of like season 5. They're doing this joint, they call it Alicization. It's this whole series of the underworld joint that's going on.
Hmm.
And what's going on? They done now. Man, the fights in that were beautiful. Were like crazy, beautiful, amazing. That's another one to keep up with, man. How he fought my man at the end of it. That really wasn't even the best fight. He kind of just came up on old boy. Well, he kind of just beat the brakes off old boy. But they had dope fights in that one, man. He fought this one dude that had like time powers. He could slow his sword down, speed his sword up, freeze his opponents. It was crazy. That joint's worth watching. The Sword Art Online, the Alicization, man. And then what else?
Have you seen JoJo's Bizarre Adventure?
Nah, man. I've kind of purposely stayed away from that one.
Why?
It's one of those things, man, where it's kind of just like, I don't know. I hear a lot of people talk about it, and then I don't want to do it.
I was the same way, and then I gave it a shot. I said, you know what? I'm gonna give it a shot. And I fell in love with it. It's amazing. Give it a shot. Just give it a shot. It will. I mean, it's definitely different.
Very.
That
it's,
I've heard. I've heard that joint is sus.
it's
Um,
it's something, but it's not. It is. It's a fun ride. It's a fun ride. All right. It's it's
I
not
still
terrible.
been watching One Piece, man.
No. I that is like the one I can't get into. That and Bleach. I
Bruh,
have not been able to.
I love One Piece.
I tried Bleach. I couldn't do it.
I
Bleach,
tried to. I
Bleach was all
tried.
right. I ain't keep up with it. My little brother loved Bleach. He would talk to me about it a lot. That joint definitely did level up to new heights.
Josh?
Yeah, Josh reads manga, man. Josh out here, him and Brandon be talking about the Boruto manga and the My Hero Academia joint. Because apparently My Hero Academia is crazy right now.
I have known y'all for like 20 years and y'all didn't tell me this.
I mean, you just gotta ask questions, bro. Like,
I would I would wear that stuff on my sleeve and y'all
Josh,
didn't.
Josh was reading manga in high school too. He had Naruto mangas in high school. So like during those car rides, we was taking you to school in the morning. That
You
man had a Naruto book in his backpack.
didn't, you didn't say anything.
It was but that's like honestly, we thought it was just like normal because it's like that's how we came up, man. We would come home. I would run home once I got off the bus so I could watch Tom and Jerry, and then do my homework so I could watch Toonami. And then that way, when my parents got home, all my schoolwork was done. So if I'm still watching Toonami, they can't say nothing. Like that was the whole game plan. It was run home, cookies, juice, Tom and Jerry, homework, and then more cookies and juice,
Mo
and
cookies and juice.
like more cookies and juice. And then in the summertime, I would look up at the sky and I would be like, Scooby Doo is on. And I would run home and I would catch it every time for the theme song. This is how life works, man. You was with
I was sitting in that back seat, scared, not even scared, but like worried that
honestly, see, that was the issue right there, bro. It
let
was
me
that
come on.
you lived your life through
I was
fear.
sitting
So you
there
ain't never
like
asked questions.
I w- I was the only. I'm thinking, yo, I'm the only one. I have got to be the only black kid that I know because I don't know anymore, except for a few girls that I knew in high school. But I'm thinking like I'm the only one, the only guy in my circle of people that I know in high school who actually watches this kind of stuff.
And you know what? You are like so wrong. Because I can think of several other people that we both know that was watching anime when we was coming up.
I know, but I didn't. My point is, I didn't know that.
Man,
I was sitting here like living, not even a lie, just living like, yo, I don't think there's anybody here to know this because I'm afraid if I ask them, they're going to look at me like I'm crazy.
glad you said that because we all knew what it was. You was just afraid.
Y'all could have at least said, you know what? Y'all could at least throw me a bone. You could
How
have
am I
thrown.
how am I just gonna throw you a random bone on something just out the blue? We tried. We gave you my man. What? You better not say that to me. You better not say that to me because I know there have been numerous occasions I tried and pushed and pulled, try to get you come out your shell. It's certain things you
No,
don't
not
learn.
even. I'm not talking about coming up the shell in general. I'm talking about this
I
particular
don't
subject.
just, and for one, I hate small talk. So the kind of thing you talking about is me doing small talk, which I don't do. I'm just gonna just bring up, hey, you like anime? Like, I
Yes. Yes.
no, that's not how that works. We just start talking about stuff. You gonna hear me say something that came out of anime, and then you laugh because you understand. Like this, just it won't always how it works. Like everything wasn't so.
I am a simple guy.
Eh,
I was a simple. If you had said so, what are you into? I would like, well, I like Naruto, and I would have gone into that. You would have been like, oh, I like that kind of stuff too, and we would have gone from there.
Cause we definitely did, man. And I was remember being 13. I was watching all the Toonami, and then Adult Swim. When Adult Swim really had anime popping, like they had that time slot for like it was like 3 hours. They had anime going straight after like midnight or whatever. Oh my god, that
I have
was
a
a
better
beautiful
question.
time in life. I watched so much Full Metal Alchemist, dog. All
How
I watched it.
how how into did you ever get around to Young Justice?
Yeah, I watched. Well, I didn't watch the joint when they came back somewhere else, but I watched the first couple seasons.
Okay, so Young Justice or Teen Titan?
Are
Man,
you still salty about this?
it
You're
sounds like
you're you're you're, you're still salty about this.
No,
It's
no.
3 months ago, Isaac.
Don't listen. Answer the question.
I
Young
guess
Justice or Teen Titan?
as an adult man, yo, like I'm gonna go more with the Young Justice, but the
See?
original Teen Titans was really dope though. Like I did really rock with the original Teen Titans.
Did
The
you
ending
hate
was
how it
god
ended?
awful. Like the way that they ended Teen Titans, that joint was trash.
Thank
Honestly,
you.
I remember watching it because I downloaded all of it. I feel like I got it on my hard drive. Uh, but back when you could really torrent stuff, know what I'm saying? Uh,
Yeah.
so I had watched all of it, and when I got to that last episode, Beast Boy out here looking for Tara, and then he find
That
her at
made
school. She don't remember him, and then he just run out the hallway because they need him, and then they go white, and then that's it. That was the last episode. I was like, this is
made
god
that
awful.
Teen Titans go.
And then, but like, and I didn't like Teen Titans Go at first. For one, because of where I was at in life, but two, I was like, man, they ruined it, right? But then I went back and I saw old Teen Titans, and I was like, all right, no, this was also hella goofy and extremely childish. Um, but not as much as but Teen Titans Go. It's kind of funny though, man. Like it has an awareness about itself. Like a lot of shows don't really do that where the characters have this self-awareness of what they are. Or like and they had the mashup with the old Teen Titans characters on
Yeah.
Teen Titans Go. There were
Yeah.
certain things, man, where it was just like, you know what? This show is goofy as hell, but this joint is actually pretty funny. And you gotta let go of certain expectations you have sometimes, and that's hard. This is a life skill. We want certain things, and then we don't get it, and we hate it instead of accepting what we got. Because if you like, yeah, if you chill for a moment, you might see that it is great in its own regard, and just allow it to be different. But I feel you. I wanted more Teen Titans, and that's not what we got.
I would have rather had it ended. If you're gonna do that episode where
Man, they should
Beast
have
Boy,
ended with all the Slade stuff or whatever.
no, you put it like at least 2 episodes after after Aftershock when she kills herself, where she sacrifices herself. You put it like 2 episodes after that, and then you get into the Doom Patrol stuff with, you know, the brain and all that. Then you do that. You don't do. By the way, can we talk about how great Slade was? Like,
Slade was a really great villain. He was out here, man.
if he,
Deathstroke in general, though, is a pretty great villain, dog. I don't think they use him enough.
no, no, they've
been using him more, though.
Yeah, well, I think definitely think Teen Titans had a hand in that because people saw, not because I know you have the comics of his that would come out, but as far as media goes, his portrayal in like DC animated movies or another series, like as soon as he came, as soon as they saw like, yo, look at the impact this dude has in Teen Titans, look how convincing he is. Like Ron Perlman as Slade was probably the like scariest thing. Even when I read his voice, even when I read comic books with Deathstroke in them, I only hear Ron Perlman's voice. Like, there's no other voice for him. You
That's
know,
funny. Yeah.
I'm being real. Like, there's no other person that does it better than him. So,
You did a good job with that joint, man. I did
yeah.
like
Did you see Joker?
that. I did see Joker, the Joaquin Phoenix joint, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was Where do you put it on your list of Jokers? Is it better than Heath Ledger's? To me, I think for the perspective of which he was playing Joker as a solo character versus a Batman villain, it was well done. He deserved the Oscar he got.
Hey, so he did a really good job in that movie. I thought that movie was great. First off, that joint was pretty tight. And I mean, the movie was told from his perspective. So when he started bucking off, I was actually pretty happy. I was like, yo, thank you. And then he started wilding out a little bit. And oh my God, when he was on the show,
Yes, that
he he did a great job as Joker. And I know that we are all like Heath Ledger Joker. It's the greatest thing that ever happened to Joker series. Uh, and I mean, Heath Ledger Joker was tight. That joint is iconic. Um, that's gonna be the Joker for our generation. It's sad, but we're gonna continue to compare people that have a role to the Heath Ledger joint. But he did a great job, man. He did a great job, especially with it being different. Like he did a great job.
Do you think? Did you like Birds of Prey? Considering
I
the
didn't
hate,
actually see that yet.
if put it this way, I'm gonna tell
I
you this.
wanted to see it. I wanted to see it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil it for you. I'm gonna tell you this. If you like action movies because they're action movies, you'll like Birds of Prey. If you go into it expecting it to be this uh comic this comic book movie that needs to follow canon, you're gonna hate it, which is why I think it receives the hate it does.
Well,
But
if it makes you feel any better, I don't know enough direct comic book lineage to feel any type of way if the movie.
okay, then you're gonna be fine. Then
Yeah,
you're gonna like it.
like it's only been a few times where I really felt some type of way about a movie not really turning out quite right. Because I already have read the book. But for the most part, I don't really care that much. Um, I'm trying to think. What was it that like really? No, it was Avatar. It wasn't. It was the Avatar, the last Airbender movie. It was that joint. They ruined that. That shit was terrible. Outside of moments like that, honestly, I didn't really care all that much.
Did you see Legend of Korra?
I did, and Cora was getting her ass whooped a lot.
Oh my god. Yeah. So can we
Am I wrong?
you're not wrong.
All right then. So don't go and act like that when I told you something true.
No, because I'm like, because everybody says that, and then like they say because of that fact, they say, oh, she's the worst. And I'm like, just because that's happens doesn't make her the worst. A lot of people say like that is her one downfall, and just because of that, she's that her whole show is irrelevant compared to the last Airbender, and I'm like, that's not fair.
I'm not gonna say her show is irrelevant because her show definitely one gave us strong female colored lead character in an action packed show.
Don't forget bisexual.
You said what?
Don't forget bisexual. She was also bisexual.
Right. So then we also have all of that. No, I mean, but that's important for the overall picture of things, right?
Right.
And then it's Avatar, so they're like no white people, which man, that's but
They really
my
don't.
bad. Everybody listens to this, but you know, history. Anyway, I don't think it was. I thought it was good. It just felt. I just was like slighted because they made her out to get the brakes beat off of her all the time. Like she started out as this super powerful bender, and I get it. The focus of her growth was more emotional and spiritual than combat wise.
Right, because she had the physical.
But with that being the case, you don't need to write your character to get beat up so bad so frequently when she's supposed to still be this all powerful type of person. I get like there's certain moments that happen, like when old boy hit that poison in her body, and then you know she's having a hard time wilding out. Okay, I get that. But like she got beat up so much before that. She shouldn't have got banged out by Kuvira like she was getting beat up by Kuvira, dog. Kuvira was doing her dirty, man. Come on. And that was the thing. It was like Aang lost some fights, but Aang ain't get the brakes beat off of him. He also had to go through emotional and spiritual development. So like they sacrificed her strength in order for her to be strong emotionally. I don't appreciate them doing that to her. She had so much more potential than that.
Did you find any of the villains compelling? Because me personally, I love Zahir. Zahir's his reason,
Bro,
even
yeah,
though, even though it's anarchy, like you can see, like I kind of get it.
I definitely get it.
Like, did you have any villains like that? And do you have any villains like that in general? When you see them, you're like, you don't hate them. You're like, I kind of get where they're coming from and why they're doing what they're doing, while it is
Uh,
contrary to.
you talking about from that show, or you just mean in general?
I'm saying in general, like maybe from that show, it can be from that show, it can be in general. Like, who do you think villain wise is like you get why they're doing?
Well, from several people. Thanos, obviously, right?
Yeah, it's
It's like,
definitely.
man, that joint, it's crazy, but you can't deny that what he said was true. When half the population gone, the planet immediately started to do better.
Right. Resources opened up. People never knew hunger again and all that.
Animals came back.
Right.
Nature started to grow back. The world started to heal itself. You remember, like this summer, the world started to heal itself, and everybody was sitting at home.
Yeah. And then a group of people stormed a Capitol building saying, "Hey, we're being oppressed."
Man, white men really don't like any of their freedoms taken away for a moment. They don't know what that feels like.
Yeah, they don't they don't know. Not even it's like, why do they? All right, I'm gonna
Ew.
take the L on this one because I got to get this out because I can't.
What's up?
Why do they want to be oppressed so badly? Like, because I'm on TikTok most of the time, and I keep seeing it's like it's not even it's like because I see a lot of Karen's videos on TikTok, and it's just like white women freaking out over the smallest stuff and like saying they're being oppressed upon. I was like, why would you want to be oppressed? That's not
I
a good.
saw one. This lady was like in this man's face. He was in the middle of the street. She was holding her dog. She threw her dog at this dude.
I saw that was insane.
Yo, she threw her dog at this man. This man was trying to walk away from her. They were in the middle of a street.
Dude,
threw her dog at him.
like, like she had to be on something because I was looking in her eyes. I was like, "There's something wrong with this lady." She wasn't making sense anytime she would speak, and like,
Man, so one thing that we gotta do, yo, we gotta make sure that we don't sit here and put all of this like, oh yeah, they're on drugs or something. Like, I know it sounds funny, but the reality of the situation is there's nothing like there's none of that going on. A lot of times there's none of that going on. There might be a chemical imbalance. They're not like on drugs. They're not out here tripping on PCP. They ain't just do a line. More often than not, that's not what's going on. You got irrational fears that are taking place and people trying to act on it in a particular moment. Is
what irrational? Right, I know one of the answers, but what irrational fear do white people have that they probably legally through the legal system will be protected from? Because if they think people of color are going to, you know, it's like what Farrakhan
do you
said.
think white people don't know what's going on?
I
Oh, they
I'm
do.
not saying that. I'm saying
No,
that
I
I
mean, because
believe
like that, I feel like that's kind of key right now, right? Like they know what's going on, they know what has been happening. They have willingly, more often than not, willingly turned blind eyes to it, felt as though they can't do anything about it or they shouldn't do anything about it, and they benefit from that. What's you start to see is sometimes we see a narrative where they're not in that position of power anymore. And you have a particular type of comfort that is established with that. And I mean, it's that convenience. And when you start to inconvenience a person, they're definitely going to blow it out of proportion. And I was thinking, it's like, it's like how an abuser paints themselves to be the victim. You know what I mean? It's like, you're making me do this to you. Why am I doing this? My life is so like I feel like it's that kind of that thing. Like it's an abuser type of situation where they feel like they're the victim, and because we are in a lot of regards trying to reclaim our power from this situation, it's like they feel as though they're the victim if they are not the ones in dominant control. And then you start to see control slip, that messes with your ego because your whole entire frame of understanding is based around you having this implicit control.
and then it turns into, like you said, irrational fear, where
On other
your loss of
because
power.
in reality, you didn't actually have none of that control. It
Right.
was
And that's the thing. Like that's one of the things that blows my mind. It's like y'all do realize that yes, y'all are you're technically in power, but at the same time, you personally don't have the kind of power that the other people that look like you have. And the fact and it's like it's the way I think in the song one of the songs Run the Jewels and Walking in the Snow, they put it like this, and I'm paraphrasing, but he pretty much said the funny thing about a cage is not built for just one group. So when the cage is done with them, they then fill it up with you. And then what that meant to me when I heard that was like, I think they're afraid of when the cage is of literally every other minority is filled. And then all there's left is the people that look like them. And when those people that look like them are left, they're not going to start with the rich, are they? They're going to start with the poor. They're going to start with like the lower to middle class.
so. Then this is the thing, and I was getting at some of this earlier, and I'm actually writing a whole piece on this, so I'm gonna hold some of my information back. But what it's a class struggle, man. I think far bigger than this race thing, which we get caught up on a whole lot. I really feel like it is, well, I think primarily it's a patriarchal issue, and that has led to a class struggle afterwards. Um, so yeah, I feel like the biggest thing that we're dealing with is toxic and hyper masculinity and that domineering need for control that men feel like they have to have. And then there's also that, and then the class struggle that comes out of that desire for power. I feel like, so first, men seeking power over women and then over other men. And I want to make sure that, like, being kind of clear and transparent, because I know that there are, we got the LGBTQ plus community.
Right.
So like, but at the end of the day, I feel like it's a class struggle. And a lot of those other letters are relatively,
A. Can't forget the A's. The A's.
I said plus. I
Yeah.
said,
That's true.
what you want me to run through the whole alphabet, man?
I'm just saying that A's are in
Like
there.
13 letters right now.
There is a lot. It is a lot.
I'm playing. That's kind of petty. But nah, I feel like bigger than all of that, it's a class struggle. And then there are all these other things that are starting to come out that further divide the populace. But I feel like it's class struggle and that misogyny, patriarchy. I feel like if we gonna really get down to it, those will be the top two things. Race falls after that. Race is a construct to help make the class struggle easier. That's my view on it, man. And I'll put that on everything. And that's like certain regards people start uh yeah, man, I don't know. It's like sometimes you start talking about history, I want to like just kind of chill out because some other people's radio syndications have been shut down for saying the types of things I was venturing towards. Y'all remember what happened? So we talking about pop culture. That's what you call we out here for, right?
Yeah, I
On
was going to get
TV,
back into that. I was
my
gonna.
man Nick Cannon.
I did not.
Y'all didn't hear about what happened with Nick Cannon?
I mean, the whole Wild Out being canceled and all that other stuff?
Because they said that he was out here saying a bunch of anti-Semitic remarks.
Oh, yeah,
Because
I
he
think
said that black people were the actual Jews, and that was evidently anti-Semitic.
You're right. So then, like, I've long since had this kind of question, right? How did Jews become white people? If we really think about where they came from, where they came out of, how did their ethnicity change to this curly-haired, pale-faced, pasty white person that we see and has gotten all these types of protections? And then, we think about the Jews that actually live in Israel. I have questions about how that joint has gone down also because they've been out here committing all types of atrocities and war crimes to their neighbors in Palestine. And, but
I didn't think we were going to get into this because I don't want to get this.
I mean, I know, my bad. So you don't gotta go too far more left field. But what I was saying was
nobody here wants to be canceled.
What I'm saying was I've seen this joint go, right? And I saw, so they were talking about Nick Cannon, that whole joint, his show getting canceled because of the type of stuff that he was saying. And there was a lot of other people that have also said the same thing. And it's just like, all right, so this is a pop culture thing right now because in a world where we're supposed to have free speech, we see certain things get shut down time and time again. So it's really not like our speech is actually free. If a person gets up here and starts questioning the claim of how Jews became white people, when looking at the area in which, so it's like it's so much, man.
Oh yeah.
So
Anyway, my bad.
did you hear? I forgot where I was going. So back to the original topic, one of the topics I wanted to get to before, and probably going to be the last one because I know it's going to take forever. Who are your top 5 rappers of all time?
You did ask that.
Clearly, in your opinion, minus your opinion. In fact, we'll go around the room and give our 5. What is your 5?
My top 5 rappers of all time.
In your opinion.
Man, that's always such a hard question, yo.
I mean, hey.
But I feel like Nas is the greatest rapper, dog. And I say that because I feel like over the years, as far as like quality of raps, consistency, and the overall legacy, Nas, dog. Nas has been consistent. Nas has always delivered bars and bars. People be coming at him sometimes on the beats, and they be like, yo, but I feel like Nas is the greatest rapper. So it's like I would have to put him up there. Man, that's a hard question, yo.
It is.
it's like I grow up and I start listening to more people. So you can't and just asking me a question. I got biased taste right now. I've been listening to Spillage Village for the last 3 weeks. They
I'm
my
biased.
favorite rappers right now. Jid, know what I'm saying?
JID is a beast. I can't stand the fact that he went to Hampton.
Sorry.
Outside of that,
Yeah, you'll be all right, man. You made the wrong decision. You went to Norfolk State. It's other better.
where did you go?
I'm a proud Aggie, my man.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, going right. Greatest
Ugh.
out right now. Last time I went to homecoming, we dragged y'all when we played y'all on homecoming.
I
We dragged
recall.
Howard that last year we played them on homecoming. I don't care about none of that. We out here stunting. I digress.
Look, all I know is Tariq Cohen gave me headaches every single time y'all came up. We played y'all, so that's all I can say. Get well, Tariq.
Man, favorite rappers though. You asked me this. Dog, that's heavy, bro. Man, I guess let me just go. Big Crit is definitely one of my favorite rappers, right now. He's definitely done sealed the deal on that.
I got to meet him.
Bro, I met him at the Norval when he came last year, dog. That show was fire.
He pulled
Rap
up on us on campus.
too. That joint was tight, man.
Rhapsody's dope.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I said Nas, Crit. I've been a J. Cole fan for a strong decade now too. So
Same here.
that's going way back for me also. That's high school, man. First time I remember hearing him, that Beautiful Bliss joint with Wale.
Oh
Man,
yeah.
Cole killed that joint, yo. Went oh my God, savagery. It was like he had that in Stars Born, but his Beautiful Bliss verse was.
Oh, Stars Born is amazing.
But his Beautiful Bliss.
Beautiful Bliss was better. If you haven't heard it yet, guys, go check it out.
I was like, so I heard Beautiful Bliss first, so then like the Stars Born verse. I was like,
Wait.
I heard.
Were those like the last two singles he dropped?
No,
that was Wale. That was Wale's song. It was on his Attention Deficit album.
Attention Deficit, yeah. Beautiful Bliss was on Attention Deficit.
See, look, I found out all about them all around the same time. Wale, Big Sean, and Cole. See, I had just discovered that diff.
I was a Wale fan early on in high school, bro. I knew about Wale all the way back, man. Nike boots, bro. You late.
I heard about I heard about them. Who That was the first song I heard about J. Cole. It was on the radio.
You real late, cause then by the time but at that point though, I already listened to like the warm up and the come up. So like
I had to go to that to find all that.
And then went back, and then everything else. So Cole's still up there. Cole's still been like high key active. I want to say Kendrick. I got love for Kendrick, but he not gonna go in the favorites right now. He ain't been active enough. Man.
Oh, he been very, very low key.
Yeah, and I mean I get it. You do your thing, dog. But yeah, nah. Outkast, man. That's up there too. They definitely.
Can I tell you, Anthony put me on the Earth Gang.
Earth Gang. So Earth Gang is part of Spillage Village. I don't know why you're not listening right now.
Earth Gang, JID,
Mariba,
Black, not 6 Black,
bruh. So like Earth Gang and JID, that's Spillage Village, bro. And then what's the other dude? Justice something. I can't think.
It's a bunch of them. I want to say Hitchcock is part of it now.
So it's
Dante Hitchcock. Hold on, I'm about to look up everybody.
I like Dante Hitchcock, yo. I started listening to him lately too.
Yeah, I all of them on that Revenge of the Dreamers album.
So question, is Spillage Village, is it like a collection? Is it kind of like what Young Money is, which is collection of people, or is it like
no, Spillage Village is more like the Dungeon Family, bro. You don't know what I'm talking about.
So it's a collection of people.
Yeah. Because Earth Gang is two cats that make up Earth Gang.
No, I know that. But like I was just saying,
you got JID, you got Mariba. It's another rapper that's like constant Black. Black ain't on all the tracks though, but
so Jordan Bryant, Hollywood JB, Benji, and I saw Mariba. I saw a lot of Dreamville. I was at like a bunch of Dreamville concerts last year. Went to see Ari Lennox, JID and Earth Gang. So I got to see Mariba at the JID concert.
Bro, I went to Dreamville last year, man. That drum was beautiful.
I wanted to go so bad, man.
Canceled. No, this year I had something in the water tickets, and then COVID. I was pretty sick about that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next year worth of festivals and all, man.
I definitely need to get the Dreamville Fest because
bro, that Dreamville Festival was amazing. I cannot talk about my experience on here fully, but that festival was amazing, dog. I had a great time, yo. Like that joint was beautiful. I would definitely go back. That man Cole put on a wonderful show. They had artists, everything out there. Man, it was tight. Yo, I was standing in line. These girls were trying to cut me and my homies in line to go get something to drink. And they're like, and we let them cut because old girl gave us her food. So, like, we ain't even had to buy no food when we was there. And we got to kick it with two. Man, it was a beautiful time, dog.
The part that made me mad was when he started playing Grown Simba.
Bro.
That was my favorite song on the warm-up.
He took it back, and he did it just.
I was like, bruh. After that point, I was like, yeah, this was worth me.
He put on for his real fans, bro. And I was in that crowd live, all the way turned up, man. Cause I'm like, yo, cause I mean, I went to A&T, bro. He was at homecoming my freshman year. He was one of the people that we had for GO. That joint was amazing.
This is the part. This is what I give. This is the credit I give A&T. Their homecomings are lit. Our concerts be trash.
Y'all just now came up with some kind of acronym for your homecoming. I can't.
NYTHC, not your typical homecoming. See, I like that better because I ain't gonna lie, we were kind of biting off of y'all for a year.
I know.
We had this whole thing called GHIN.
No.
And I was like, bro, why are we biting off T?
Bro, I don't know. Because y'all know where greatness is found.
Like, what idiot decided to bite off T? Like, we could have came up with something better than that instead of biting off T.
Apparently, you couldn't have.
Well, now we got not typical homecoming.
Okay, but you said something better. That's not what happened.
What is June?
It's all love, man. HBC.
Greatest homecoming in Norfolk. As if there's only 2 colleges in Norfolk. And who talks about ODU's homecoming?
Homecoming.
Like, no shade on ODU, but for real.
Bruh, that's a day. That's just a football game.
That's a football game, bruh.
I don't care. They go to Norfolk State homecoming when they want some fun.
And the crazy part is, like, they killed the bonfire last year because niggas.
That's typically what happens.
Like, niggas out there shooting and whatnot. Like, why?
That's just typically what happens.
Man.
Yo, all right.
Let's
talk about pop culture. So, like, for where we live, y'all heard about the casinos that are coming?
Yeah, I'm not so sure if I'm for it. Especially where they're putting it at.
Which one are you talking about?
The one on Victory, right? It's right by me.
That's a terrible. I think that's a terrible location.
It's right over here. I live like I could probably walk to it in like 45 minutes if I wanted to.
Yeah. I know that's where the land is, so I get that's why they're doing it. Man, they should have been moved that jail off for the waterfront.
It may have been better off over there in the waterfront, but you still Capital Manor isn't bad. Let's be real. But we have our collection of niggas out here, and it'd be some broke folk just hanging around that area. I don't think that's the right spot to put it.
You got that on every side. People feel like Churchland is real nice, but you got Peachtree out that joint. It get real out there. It's not really what you want. They've been wilding. You got Truxton. It's just a lot of different areas that's real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
don't know how I feel about it either, but that joint coming. What's good, man? Try and get a thousand.
It may be the thing that Portsmouth needs, because let's be honest, Portsmouth is in a financial hole. Yeah, and then you got this. I definitely want to bring this up to you since you are in that city. What are your thoughts on these changes?
Talking about going on in the city, bro.
I'm talking about James Hurst, John Tyler, and Woodrow Wilson.
All right, so John Tyler, thinking about it, I guess I understand that joint. I really didn't care. Woodrow Wilson, I mean, I don't care, bro. I guess I'm glad they changing the names. I didn't really look into it, and I don't know enough.
I know my folks are probably going to be really praying that they go ahead and bring back Manor.
For Woodrow Wilson.
Yeah, because all them folk were Manor alum. They could probably get Missy in on it.
Bro, my uncle's a Manor alum, dog. I know about Manor.
See, my uncle was in there. He was a drum major and everything, all that. It's a lot of folk out here that were Manor graduates.
I don't know why they brought up the change anyway. That's not.
Well, I know James Hurst. I actually had to do some research on that, and I don't know if you have seen it, but the things he did was kind of, yeah, I definitely would let you say, because I know he fired some black teachers or principals, something like that, and replaced them white. It was just all kinds of crazy stuff, and this was during that time period. So my thing is this, because let's be honest, Portsmouth public schools has funding issues.
Doesn't every school system?
Yes, but I truly feel like Portsmouth.
I appreciate you for that equal. Thank you. Because what you teach in Chesapeake, right? You work in Chesapeake, right?
Nah, Suffolk.
My bad. You said this in the beginning. So first off, y'all need to handle your own business. Don't be talking about us.
Well, we not the ones out here got our schools named after horrible people. My school is named after a hometown hero. Thank you very much.
And that mean that he a good person? How you know he ain't own slaves?
Because he was a black man, and it was like
it
was well after.
That means nothing.
Oh, I know. I know. I have. I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but
you had some slave owners in your ancestral lineage.
Let's just say I'm related to Wanda Sykes.
You said you're related to Wanda Sykes?
Yes, that's my cousin.
Oh, word. That's what's up.
She was on WHRO, and she was doing a lineage episode. And they was just tracing everything back, and it came back. It was like my ninth great grandmother, something like that, was white. So that side of the family was free. Some of them owned slaves, and this, that, and the third.
I love how I love how Anthony was like, "Yo, like, how do you know your school isn't named after a horrible person?" I say he was black.
He was a Vietnam veteran too.
All right.
So he was I want to say he was a POW and everything like that. And
so he was out here like, spreading American tyranny across the land. I got you. I got you.
Hey, he was just doing his job.
Yeah, that's how we get here, right? That's how we get here. They can just do what they do.
Do what the president said to do.
Uh-huh. Yes, sir, master. God, yeah. All right, cool. I'm glad we had this moment. That was great.
Now they might change that mascot for Nansemond River within the next few years, knowing how things are going.
I mean, they just call them the Warriors. They didn't really do anything.
Do you not see their logo? Do you not see what they do? Oh, they do that. All of that.
They do that. They do that. That is what they do.
That is their fight song.
All right, so now I'm glad that you done went ahead and worked this out now. Your school district got your problems too.
Let's be honest, but the entire public school system needs more money.
Yeah, but and what we're seeing right now is that people really do not care about that. Our government has proven that they will far rather give millions or billions of dollars to the top 10% of the companies that exist, top 500 companies that's out there, versus actually putting that money into schools. They would rather build prisons than fund schools. They would sit here and say that defunding the police is a radical thing to do, but then slash the education budget by billions of dollars.
Right.
Yeah, of course you can't slash the police budget when you slash education like that. The only thing people are going to have left to return to is going to end up being crime. It's not like low-end jobs really keep you up and running.
They
So
don't.
talking about whether or not, Isaac, you asked a question earlier about V for Vendetta or Hunger Games. To a certain extent, man, with how COVID is going, I mean, it could turn out the way because you see the food thing and how rich folk have monopolized certain industries. So if this continues, they start to section it off, pour people over in one place, like how they really want it to be. As ain't no telling, man.
But the thing is, and then the thing you have to think about, you have to take into consideration when you put that into perspective, you put that in there. You got to remember that they eventually, those regimes, now I know it's cliche to say, but those regimes do fall. You know what I mean? And if you especially look at V for Vendetta, more so in the Hunger Games, you saw how they went down. They went down in a flame of, you know, ash and rubble. You know, which is not saying what I want to go down, but like if
Man, honestly
it's
though, to
gonna,
keep it hot,
it's
I
going to
appreciate
reach a
how that
point.
joint went.
It's going to reach a point where people are going to be like, you know what? I'm not talking about the people who support it. I'm talking about the people who, I want you to say that, like, you're going to have people, not the so-called patriots that they think they are, because they're not patriots. You're going to have those people who are going to be the people on the other side. They're like, you know what? We're tired of all these people who think that that the world revolves around them, and then everybody else is going to sick of seeing the world revolve around them, and they're going to force, and they're going to say, you know what? Now we're going to stop the world turning. We're going to stop your world from turning. We're going to like shake it to its foundation. And if we have to eradicate you in the process, we're going to do that. And I'm just saying, it's not going to, I hope it doesn't reach that point, but that's how, that's.
We'll see what happens, man.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll get to the point where people will be willing to not just blindly follow orders. And I know that's what our government trains a lot of us to do. That's what we try to, a lot of times, that's what happens in school. Sit down, shut up, follow instructions.
Right.
That's old school too. Like what I see more so now with the trend of education, that people are trying to move away from that because good people have been doing studies for a long time saying that that kind of stuff really don't work. So new things coming in, man. We are getting away from some of that, but not with how the things are going from up top, man. Not with how some of the things are going from up top. I would care more about this election. Oh, well, one main reason I care about this election is because I really want Betsy DeVos to lose her job.
Yes. Oh my God.
That's the big thing right there.
I knew he was bad.
If there's just like, some people vote on one issue. If there's one issue that would sway me and make me never vote for that man, it's because he got her over here and the agenda they got set up. I ain't with it.
She came in. I remember when she was selected. Now I was hearing some of the things. I was looking at the way people perceived her, and I said, "This is going to fail. It's going to fail, and it's going to fail miserably. And a lot of people, a lot of disenfranchised people, are going to be hurt by some of the decisions that she made."
Oh yeah, already have been.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
It will
Anthony, what's your
continue
top
to
five?
be. Huh?
I was saying, like, back to the light stuff. Anthony, what's your top five?
My top five. Whew,
Be all the way off.
is this all time or current? Because
All time. Your opinion, all time.
You already know there's no this. This is not really in any kind of order. Pop,
Uh-huh.
big.
Yeah, we have a problem with Big. Here, you want to hear one of Big's lines, Isaiah?
I don't. I've already heard enough.
All right, very well, because it's a
I'm talking
problematic
about the
one.
notorious B.I.G., right?
I mean,
Yeah,
he is notorious.
Uh-huh.
yeah, but it's a problematic line.
I respect the craft. I feel like he was toxic as hell.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah, this
yeah,
is it.
and I said that he's toxic. I've never sat here and said he wasn't.
I respect the craft though. He definitely was very masterful the way he did. But he was toxic, so that's why like I won't go list him. And like if it comes, people talk Pac and Big, I'm picking Pac all day. But my bad, I ain't mean to derail your top
If
five.
you had I was gonna say, I was gonna tell you a line that Big had in one of his songs that one of his boys likes apparently likes to do to minors, but it's a little explicit and it's very problematic. But I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah,
Can't
that is
be.
an issue.
I mean, he said where he was going to go when he died.
That's fair. Anthony, what's the first?
Yeah,
He knew.
and like for these reasons, it's like, is that really who we should be modeling ourselves after?
Oh, I'm not bothering myself after. I'm just acknowledging the fact that he was one of the bar for bar, one of the greats rapping wise. I'm not saying that, but
Yeah.
Pop Big, I'm going to throw. I definitely got to throw 3 stacks up on this list. I definitely got to throw 3 stacks on
Hey
this
man,
list.
why everybody do Big Boy dirty, bro? Hey man, look, dog. That's why earlier. That's why earlier, like I said, Outcast, not just 3 stacks, because let us not forget, bro. Let us not forget that every step of the way, this man Big Boy was out here rapping his ass off. Big Boy got bars for some 20 plus years right now. Got bars. And so
And still putting out.
thank you.
Did you hear Intentions?
I did see that he just dropped that joint. I ain't heard it yet.
I didn't even have a speaker yet, and I was blasting it.
Man, look, yo. So that's what I'm saying, man. I
So
got love.
I'll go ahead and I'll throw Big Boy up there. So
It's
just throw
your
the whole
top five.
Outcast.
I'm just commenting, man. I'm
No,
just.
because you're right. You're right. That's the thing. You're right, and that's something I think we've talked about it because that was one of the things. Like I don't like putting Earth Gang and using Earth Gang as a comparison to Outkast. Because yes, they have. We can. There's obvious influence from Outkast.
Yeah,
There's no doubting that. But they have their own vibe to them too.
they're a modern version, dog. They're similar. They are not outcasts. They're not the new, but they are similar. And this new album, that Spillagin, that joint feel like an Outcast album, bro.
I mean, same with the one that dropped last year. Welcome to was it no, just Maryland,
Yeah,
and you had what was it Stuck? That was like okay, I'm definitely getting Outkast vibes from this. That was the first one. Like okay,
bro.
they definitely into Outkast back then.
That song is like high key one of my
That
favorite.
when the first part of this side, right before the beat drop, and then the beat drop just turned into a whole nother level. It was like, oh my gosh. So I'm gonna throw Cole up there. I know I'm gonna get a lot of people saying, well, Cole's boring, this, that, and the third. No. Cole is that dude that really pushed me through a lot of situations. Listen to Cole.
Man.
Cole got a lot of songs that just like for any mood that I'm in, I can just listen to Cole. Yeah. I ain't got no kids, so I ain't got to listen to She's Mine Part 1, nothing like that. So I ain't got to worry about that. No, Part 2, my fault.
That whole album was for his daughter, so yeah.
Yeah, like I know people were hating on For Your Eyes Only. I still listen to it.
I don't know why that album was tight, man. There really hasn't been a bad project that Cole put out.
None, and he gets a because I think a lot of it was that the style of it wasn't really what a lot of the mainstream is looking at.
Which is the point, though.
Right. And he's so set on, and that's why he put out KOD
Right.
to kind of get that mainstream feel to it with his still having his touch on it.
And being very, very, I mean, that joint, man, is, and in some regards, kind of like a catharsis. Like, that joint is a emotional release, man. You niggas need that joint.
Oh yeah, because he talks about a lot of issues that we have, and nice block within ourselves, the drug issue, just, and then like showing that cocky side of him, and what was it, KOD in the first song.
Yeah, and that motivate joint. I mean,
Right.
really showing his cocky side, but he was going in though. That track was hard.
I'm really anticipating this next album because these first two songs that he already put out,
Yeah, Lewis Street.
It's tight. That Lion King on Ice, and I love that nice little shot to Smoke Hurt.
I never really listened to any of his music, man.
I've never heard any of it either, but he was one of these niggas out here trying to clown Cole. Like, who are you?
Well,
and then he had
a lot of cats loved him. He met a very early and tragic demise, and I heard about the album cover. So pop culture, the album cover for Pop Smoke joint, the first one that they dropped, that joint was so fugly, dog. It was fugly.
You know, the Pop Smoke album wasn't bad though.
I heard
it was a few joints up there. I still blast like the I can't think what he calls on his album, but he used Mini Men. And so he did a play off that song. That was tough. And that was my favorite one on the whole album.
Word. It's because he's in that 50 camp, man. He's signed up under 50, so
yeah. Rest in peace to him, dog. But he
had.
Say it again.
I was gonna say, who else is in there?
Oh, I got one more. I know. I'm gonna throw Chris in there, man. Chris is on his way to all-time levels, in my opinion. He just needs one more of those albums, and I think he is going to cement his legacy because the dude is he's just nice like that. And it's like, you don't see a lot of people giving a lot of lyrical Southern rappers enough respect. You got Crit out here, JID, Olu and Wildgreat. It's a lot of rappers out that way that are actually barring it up.
And hella rappers, yo.
Because you see a lot of people, when you see people from that area, the Georgias and the Floridas and places like that, is more, you don't associate them with being spitters, really. They're hype music. You got the Migos, your Futures and whatnot. So you don't get that from everybody.
Yeah.
Speaking of Futures,
I guess the mumble rap is really popping out the South, huh?
Oh yeah. And in some cases you're starting to see that up north too, especially in New York, with Pop Smoke's boy 5-Year Foreign.
Did you see, and I know you saw this picture, there was a picture that was trending on Twitter earlier. It had Future, Drake, Lil Wayne, and Meek Mill, and they said one has to go with all their music. And Meek was trending because everybody said that Meek is the one they would vote out. And I said, I didn't tweet on it. I shared it to Anthony, and I said Future easily. Why? Because at least those other three guys can drop on it.
Yeah.
And they don't ruin perfectly good songs on Black Panther albums.
He really tore up King's Dead like that, and I'm still mad about it.
There was nothing wrong with that song, and he went up there and had to put his garbage on it. You see what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you. So like, the Young Thug, that's how I feel about Young Thug most times, man. I don't care for his voice. I don't really care for his music. So there's that track like The London, right? And I was like, yo, this track is hard. And then as soon as Young Thug come on there and start like whining and shit, I I was like, turn this off, man. This was a good song for like 2 minutes and 45 seconds.
So I'm taking that you didn't like Proud of You.
I do actually like that song.
He has a few tracks that I can really rock with.
Actually, I love Proud of You, even though I just said I don't like Young Thug like that. But like, it's not him though, for real. Like, he got a moment on there. It's not as much as it was on some of the other songs, like on the London that joint. Like,
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about because like he even switched up his sound. It was a Trap by Rick Ross. I think he was on that one, and he switched up his sound on that one too.
he got a lot of respect from cats, man. And like as a teacher, a lot of my kids felt like he was the greatest out right now. And I was like, really? The greatest rapper right now?
I'm surprised I didn't say like Uzi or Polo G.
I got a couple of kids that feel like Uzi is the greatest. Honestly, I won't really doing this consciously. Like, you know how you can just like put on the station or something on your phone or go to some of the other playlists. Man, I went to my phone and I skipped like 3 Uzi tracks that were playing on one of the stations. I didn't know it was Uzi playing until after I decided that I was skipping this joint though. And I don't remember what song it was, but it came on and I was like, no, this has to go. And then
I got to be in a certain mood in order to listen to Uzi.
I've never found what
I already have issues with his name as it is because if you say his name fast enough, it just sounds sus.
Lucifer.
Right. It just sounds sus already.
You can say it, the light bringer. I know what's up. But it's just some cats, man, I just can't get with. But then like some new cats come out, and then I can get with it. Like Corday. When I first heard Corday on that Young Niggas joint he did, I was like, you know what? I fuck with you, man. I feel like in some regards he missed the point, but at the same time he was on. He had a lot of right things to say.
Oh yeah.
He was properly addressing how old dudes are addressing young dudes, and you making it seem like it's been a whole lot of y'all around in these young dudes' lives. You mad at what they doing, but ain't nobody raising them.
He made a lot of good points in that, and like you were saying, I've been telling Isaac this the whole time. He gets sidetracked by the trash that he does not want to acknowledge. How many great artists are still coming out now?
A lot of dope artists coming out right now, man. It's a lot of dope music being made, yo.
And it's like you're putting your own self in a headlock, not letting yourself.
I listen to what here's when I was about to get on my 5. Here's what I listen to. I listen to. Right, I'm gonna get my top out the way.
Yes, who's your top 5?
He's gonna say Eminem.
Eminem is my number 1.
And it's like, yo, honestly, I wanted to name him too when you was asking me top 5, because coming up, that's definitely who I was listening to. Exactly. I mean, Eminem Show, Encore, Marshall Mathers. I was here with it, bro. I was here with it. The joint was amazing. Like, that shit kind of saved my life. So
Eminem was like the first exposure I got to rap in general. Eminem, because my brother, older brother, Joseph, you remember my brother, Joe, right?
Yes.
He played Mosh and Just Lose It. And I felt, and since then, as crazy as that song was, he also played Stan. Like, he played songs from, he would play just Eminem in general. He would have it playing, and it would be, I just fell in love with it, you know? And that was it. That's number 1. Number 2 is controversial, but he's controversial, but there's something about the music he makes that is, it's genius. Although he's an insane person,
most geniuses are.
Yes, his music is very, very good.
Like, shout out to Paul Adams. I had to throw that out there because he is a genius and that dude is insane.
Number 2 is Kanye. Now, not because for his political views, but I'm going to be honest. When he was making Sunday services
Uh-huh.
week after week in 2019, and then he capped it off with Jesus is King, I was like, this is, it's amazing. And so he's number two.
You don't count as a rapper for none of that, though.
I mean, I've,
I'm just messing with you, man. I'm just
I
messing.
know, but I'm just saying,
I
it's
didn't
just,
throw him up on mine just because I feel like he's just a better producer than he is a rapper. In my opinion, in my honest opinion. Now, if you said producers, he's definitely in my top 5.
but then I replay his album. I keep replaying Watch the Throne with Ye and Jay-Z. And I hear the bars he has on there. I hear, oh my gosh, just my beautiful dark twisted fantasy.
Yeah, that album was amazing.
You know, I can't help it. So that's number 1 and 2. Theirs are never going to change. You know, they're not. I'm sorry, they're not. You know. Number 3 is, now these is the last 3 are kind of updated, but it's after a lot of consideration. Number 3 is Run the Jewels. That's Killer Mike and ELP. I went through their whole thing. Um, uh, Actually, no. I'm gonna put number 4 is Clear Soul Forces.
Said who?
I
Clear
like
Soul Forces.
Clear Soul
They're,
Forces.
they're a group of 4 rappers from Detroit who, how would you describe them, Anthony? How would you describe Clear Soul Forces?
I don't know. I wouldn't know how to describe it. I definitely like them though. I wouldn't throw them on my top, but they're definitely good.
They're like, they rap, they have bars, but it's like they have like most of their beats are like playing from like the 90s, wouldn't you say? You know what I mean? They're not like,
They do have that '90s feel to them.
yeah, they have like that old school 90s beat. You see them?
Yeah, I pulled him up.
Yeah.
I need y'all to check. If you haven't checked out Saba, I need y'all to check Saba out too.
Oh yeah, no,
I
I've
know
been
some.
on Saba, man. Saba, that the Care for Me album is amazing. And then the Pivot Gang joint that came out,
Pivot Gang is dope.
I was like, it's all right.
I like the Pivot Gang album.
That's what's up.
Number 5 is this is, mind you, this is like, it's a mixture of current and all time. But number 5 is this kid named Token. Uh, he's like, I think he just turned like 21, and he he's amazing. He's like, a lot of people call him like the next Eminem, but I wouldn't crown him that just yet. But he's really good.
He said Token.
Token. He's got skills. Look up this song called Doozy, or a song called Patty Cake. He also has a song with Tech Nine called YouTube Rapper.
He got, if Tech Nine got on the joint with him, then that
Yeah,
means he must be sped.
yeah, it's called YouTube Rapper. It is.
Because
It's
Tech
good.
Nine is one of those dudes that does not get enough due diligence. That motherfucker be sped.
Tech
Yeah,
is definitely one of the most underrated
Oh
in the
yeah,
game, bro.
he was
yeah.
just on a song with Hollywood Undead. If you like, all right, he was on a song with Hollywood Undead called Idol. So if you looking for that, intense Tech Nine kind of stuff, that's him. Also, since I know you like history, right? I have a band I want you to listen to. They're a metal band from Sweden called Sabaton, Sabaton, and most of their music is, they talk about military history from like World War II, World War One. They even cover like Swedish history. Yeah, so if you like history, definitely check them out.
I'm
Definitely.
gonna be honest with you, man. I don't think I'm gonna listen to that.
Hey, I'm just saying.
You said Sabaton, and they do history music.
Yes, they do. They
Swedish
do like,
rock band.
That is correct. Swedish metal. Swedish metal. It's like classic metal, but like not scream. All right, first of all, it's not screaming metal. Okay,
Okay, so because I had a student, man, he told me
not
that his
screaming.
favorite form of music it was like Swedish heavy metal.
Yeah, it's not screaming. Okay, it's not the screaming kind of stuff.
Interesting. All right, word. I should be open to new things, man. Sab-
I can listen to a little metal here and there if I'm at the gym. That's about it.
I
Well,
mean,
Anthony, you and me listen to Alter Bridge. So
bro, when you talking about metal, man, just bring me some Metallica, bro, and I'm gonna be good to go for a little while.
very well.
Throw on some
We do have
fuel.
speaking of Metallica, Sabaton has a version of "For Whom the Bell Tolls."
Interesting. All right, you should have led with that and not about military history. Yeah.
That is fair. That is fair.
So you gotta know your audience, man. I guess you said history. I can't be mad at you.
Yeah.
How do you spell it?
Sabaton.
Sabaton.
Yes.
Interesting. All right.
The front man
It came
would have
up.
like shades on, a mohawk, and like a bulletproof vest on.
They came up. The Great War.
We know what that's about.
Hey, what year is this, man? It's 1940. Like, all right, cool. That's what's up. Bismarck. Oh my God. You were right. You were right. All their names. Is this in English? Do I have to learn Swedish to listen to their music?
No. They do have Swedish versions of their albums, but most of it is in English. Like for example, I know you see one of the albums on there called Carolus Rex. They have a Swedish version of that album where all the songs are in Swedish, but they have an English version as well.
Okay. Yep. And I see the Swedish version
Yeah,
of Carolus Rex.
which is Latin for King Carl or King Charles
Mm.
the 12th. King
Oh,
Carl, King Carl the 12th of Sweden.
I haven't listened to any like new rock music in a minute, so I guess I need to diversify my bonds.
Yeah. If you like history, like I know you do, because I know you like history. If
I
you like it,
do. I do. I've gotten to the point in life though where it's like I really don't care too much more about learning white man's history. And it's like, yeah. And so no shade, you know what I'm saying? I will listen to it. It's just that hasn't really been too much of a focus for me. My brain has been on. So we're talking about music. There's an African music app, right? It's called Dwampa. Jwompa. Dwampa. There's a website for it. You can play it from your computer too. And they have music from across the entire continent of Africa. They have it broken down by country. They have it broken down by genre. Some real cool stuff that's out there. I've been listening to a lot of, well, you can find this elsewhere, but like Fela Kuti. Been listening to a lot of Fela Kuti again. They got Fela Kuti stations. They got some other cats that's up there. There was some new things I heard. Just made some cool stuff that was out. This Dwampa app, black owned app, black created app. It was free to use. I don't even experience commercials yet. I feel like it's just, yep, that joint right there. That joint right there. It's a cool app, man. I thought it was really dope. One of my
Over
friends,
300 African music genres in all 54 African countries.
boom.
have you ventured east for any of your music, like past Europe
So
and
kind of,
Asia?
sort of, not really. Kind of, sort of, not really. There's this producer that I listen to, Onra, and he does like hip hop, like Asian inspired hip hop beats. Joints are pretty cool. This one MC I know from out here, he put me on, man. My man Black Rican, yo, cool cat. He put me on though to these, and my man Onra in the Chinwa series, the Chinio series. That joint was really cool. I was at I was at PF Chang's earlier today, and they were playing some of that in there. That was pretty dope. Outside of that, and like New Jabez, I really ain't got too much for you, man. I listened
I
to
was
some of the
curious.
anime music that was made, like the stuff for Samurai Champloo, the stuff for Space Dandy. That those things were pretty dope.
Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, Cowboy Bebop also has some pretty.
You know that music. The woman who did like the jazz in there, she's Japanese. I can't think of her name. Oh my gosh, her name is leaving me right now. I feel so bad. But it was
Yo,
just
one more. So the Full Metal, I listened to a lot of the Full Metal Alchemist music also.
mhm.
That had a place in my heart for a good long time. But more recently, just that On Ra joint, man. That Chinio series. Maybe not just because I listen to a lot of lofi music and I don't actually know who some of those producers are. Like I don't really know what they look like or where they from.
I I I was watching this movie. I, when it comes to action movies, I realize I have no country isn't a factor for me. So I watch like action movies from any country, and I'll watch a lot of like South Korean and Japanese action movies, even Indonesian action movies, and some of them are pretty fire. I ain't gonna lie. Like if you like martial arts movies, watch The Raid, Redemption, and The Raid Two. They're
Okay.
from Indonesia, but if you love martial arts movies, you will love them. Trust me. So I was watching this one series called High and Low, and the kid, they have a group in there who does a music called Doberman Infinity. They have they have a version of Jump Around by House of Pain, but it's like their version of it, and it's not bad. It's not. I found it on I found it on YouTube, and it's pretty good,
Okay.
pretty good. So it's all about expanding horizon, you know. And
Yeah, to that part.
yeah, so
Boy,
anyway,
this has been an
yeah,
interesting moment in time right here.
yeah, it has, yeah, it has. We
By the way, the Lakers are inching the way to the championship. 17.
okay. I don't think anybody cares because we knew it was inevitable. Uh,
And my
um,
Seahawks are getting the break speed off them right now, 13-0. So that's great.
I want LeBron to win everything. That's just, so him on the Lakers, I want the Lakers to win. I rock with that man. I think he is a GOAT for various reasons. So I wish him success. Like
better than Jordan.
you said, better than Jordan.
Yeah,
I like him as a person more than I like Jordan.
I
that's
get that.
that's fair.
But Bronny is not going to be too happy about this.
You said Bronny.
Little Bronny.
Oh
Yeah,
God.
He about to get that belt when Pops come back home. Out there smoking that weed.
Oh God. That was in the news. His kid got caught up or something.
He he posted on his Instagram a video of him smoking weed.
Hey man, kids really be thinking that this shit is cool, yo.
yeah.
They
Like
out, they out here recording themselves doing illegal stuff. Like, haha, yeah, y'all, check me out. I'm cool. Now you in trouble.
it's the same thing where it's like, especially this, it makes me laugh when white kids get caught for doing racist stuff online. Then they get called out, then they get kicked out of school, or they lose that job they were going to get after high school. I'm saying, well, you're
Yo,
dead.
so my mom lives out near Grassfield. It's a kid in her cul-de-sac. This kid in her cul-de-sac got kicked out of school. He got expelled from school because he went to school one day and put a noose on a black kid's neck. Needless to say, that black kid beat the brakes off a little white boy over there. But he went to school and put a noose on this kid's neck, bro. At school.
You got to get the hands running.
You can't come and do something like that to me one by yourself. If you coming out here with that, you better come with a mob because I'm gonna beat the brakes off you.
Oh, facts.
What?
Yeah.
He got the break. So I don't know what the punishment was like for that black kid to beat the brakes off of him, but I imagine it must have not been too bad.
Oh,
I
no.
would have petitioned to say no punishment whatsoever because he made his bed and now he has to lie in it.
Hey,
or
man,
more specifically, he's got to lie in the pool of his own blood.
I doubt Chesapeake work like that. This a good old boy club, and they don't really. Anyway, you said something about it, so it made me think about it. Like that joint that happened out here where we from. Know what I'm saying?
Oh no, that's not surprising at all. It's Chesapeake.
It's funny, right. Like every time I see it anywhere, I say anywhere I see.
Portsmouth got his problems, but I ain't in school with nobody with Confederate flags right now. I take that back. I take that back.
Yeah, because there's a lot. I drove out Port Norfolk and I saw a bunch of Confederate flags out there, so I know they out there.
That joint is high key hilarious because that is an extremely black area. So you're just, it is what it is. There was one kid though, I heard that he was on some stuff. He always was like respectful to me, which I thought was interesting.
I kind of noticed that. Then again, I was a very big guy, so.
I mean, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I'm 5'6", like 160. I really ain't a big dude.
But you're shredded, though. Like, you're shredded, though.
Which one? No, it's your other brother that has the whole bodybuilder thing, isn't it?
Yeah, so my older brother he was actually working towards being a bodybuilder. He was doing it's like a couple different styles of bodybuilding that they work towards, and he was doing the less bulkier version. And then, life had
one point where I was like, yo, these dudes, like, who would dare mess with these guys? Because they're only digging their own grave.
Because all of y'all are well-built individuals. Like, I've known Josh since middle school, so.
Yeah, Josh the biggest one of us all, man. He out here. Yo,
tell the Dolphins good job today too.
Yeah.
Who did they play, man?
They beat the 49ers. They beat the brakes off the 49ers, man.
That's good. So look, right? I really don't keep up with sports that much, but because Josh worked for the Dolphins, I have been keeping up with them a little bit and getting to learn. First off, I'm rooting for everybody black, and they got a black head coach over there, and that man high key don't hold his tongue. Like, he with the shits. He out here like trying to make change, and he a quality coach. I can stand behind that the long way. So like, I want them to win. Long as he over there coaching, long as Josh working for them, I want the Dolphins to come up on everything, man.
They're looking solid, and they even got to their rookie quarterback yet.
It look like they're starting to really build a solid team right now. I went to a game last year. They had won. I know last year they had beat the Patriots towards the end of the season. Patriots was on their way to the Super Bowl, and they came up on. I was like, yo, this is. They like make some waves, man.
The Dolphins get one on the Patriots about once a year,
which is hilarious.
It is so funny because like the 2 years ago was the craziest game where they had that big crazy play at the end of the game where Gronk slipped on a banana.
What?
Well, he didn't literally slip on a banana, but
bro, I'm over here visualizing that.
Not literally, but you get my point.
What cartoon shenanigans is this? Oh, is this Mario Kart? Somebody hit him with the banana peel?
And Isaac's dying because Isaac knows exactly what I'm talking about because we watched this guy named Chisel Adonis. And he does highlights on the games, and he was like, "Gronk, watch out for the banana!"
I just literally imagine a cartoon version of that play and slipping on.
I was imagining this joint for real. I was like, yo, how we slip on a banana and some cleats? All right, word. That's crazy.
Let me see. Had they got to the end of the game? Because I want to see the celebration.
Oh,
Y'all watch the celebration,
40
man.
seconds. Okay, I'm turning to the NBA now.
whew.
But there's nothing else. I think we've gotten to a lot today.
Oh yeah, we've been out here.
We definitely gotta have you back if you're willing.
And
Come
it's
back.
always a good time, man.
I was trying to get Brian up here, but I think he had a lot going on, and then he said his Wi-Fi situation was bad.
Yeah, this happened the last time, man. I don't think he liked
No,
me, man.
I think he was asleep the last time.
I'm just playing.
But I know he's a little distraught right now because his quarterback is probably out for the year.
Yeah, it just I just got the notification Andy Dalton's going to be playing
I
until
hope
further
he
notice.
didn't put a lot of money on that or anything.
That was my fantasy quarterback. Prayers up for Dak Prescott, man. Going back to that root for everybody black, that man had been balling for the Cowboys.
He had.
And then for him to basically break his ankle on that play was just tough.
Wow.
And it's official. The Lakers are your 17-time NBA champions.
Word.
I wish I want to care. I really do want to
I'm
care.
happy, man. You just need to be happy for Black excellence and LeBron right now. Like, chill out.
Yo,
bro.
AD is over here boo-hooing. Cried out, bro. Cried all out.
That's funny.
Anyway, thanks again for your time, Isaiah. We'll probably call you back on, like, I guess if we're not all dead after the election.
We should be all alive.
We won't be dead after the election. Not at least not immediately after. We gotta wait till January.
Yeah, I think inauguration day is probably gonna be that day.
Honestly, man, that's really only if by some stroke of luck Biden and Harris win this election. Because I don't see them winning.
I don't see it either.
Well, we'll see.
It ain't about how I feel or what I want. It's about what I predict. I don't predict them winning, man. I definitely don't think. I don't want to see another 4 years of these other guys. But also, I hope and wish Trump a speedy recovery.
I think he's already recovered.
So let's hope. I hope he does not die because I do not think Pence at the helm would be much better.
If anything, if Trump wins, we need to pray that Trump survives all 4 years. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, indeed. We can pray that
I've been saying
under him goes, but Trump, man, at the very least, I've said this to a lot of other people. Pence gives me Chancellor Palpatine vibes.
I'm
talking about?
Does anybody know the number to Darth Vader?
You said what?
Does anybody know Darth Vader's number? Nobody catch that joke?
No, I don't have his number.
Very well.
I'm sorry.
I
don't have his number. But
about time we scored.
I think Pence might have it.
He may.
Yeah.
But yeah, Pence is a lot worse in my honest opinion. So I think personally I will be able to survive Trump because my motto right now is God is in control.
Oh, absolutely.
So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter to me who's president because, in my honest opinion, both are horrible people.
And it ain't really going to change too much of what it is we got to do. Might change the speed at which I have to do some things, but don't really change the objective at all. For me,
please be educated on the things going on in your local areas too, because it's not just the president situation. I know Virginia has a few amendments that we have to be voting on. I think I will bring that up next week. So definitely check out the things that we have going on in your state and local areas.
I was looking into that, man. One of them actually, I think is of real importance to most people. And one of them was just like tax write-offs for veterans. So, I mean, I feel like just give it to them, I think. I'm going to vote yes for that one. The other one, I got to look at again, though. But yeah, this has been a blast, fellas. I appreciate y'all for having me out here, man.
Thank
No
you,
problem,
man.
man. No problem.
You have a
Yeah.
good one. Stay safe, even though you ain't really got to go nowhere. You pretty much are in the comfort of your own home working.
They told us that we ain't got to go back until January. I'm sitting out here like, boy, I'm about to plan me a winter trip. What's good?
Do your lessons from there.
Know what I'm saying? All I need is internet, baby. I can teach from this cabin. All right, y'all. It's
All
been
right, you easy, man.
Yeah,
peace out.
easy.
With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of Unbounded. You all be blessed and stay out here and be safe. Don't do anything I wouldn't do because I'm not dumb. Or neither is Isaac. So peace, love, and pop stars. We out of here.